I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you a go love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Good afternoon. This is an afternoon start to I Am Sure Sports. I am Manning's Man, and welcome to the platform. Want to say blessings and peace, shalom, peace be unto you and to your household. Hope you're in the best of health. We give thanks continually for the breath in our lungs. We are alive, and so we are forever grateful. We continue to declare, project, and profess that if it had not been for the good Lord on our side, then where would we be? We are sustained by his hand of grace and love that ever abounds over us. We have our shortcomings. We are not perfect beings, but guess what? We strive every day to be better. And while we look at our own benefit, we look at the benefit of others as well. We continue to seek to add value to people's life. Because what would the world be if all of us were just focused on us and not on others? And so we give thanks that we are loved, and in return, we can love. See, our life is based on two things: the vertical and the horizontal. The vertical points upward. It means that it is important that we have a healthy and strong relationship with the creator of all mankind. But as well, we must have a healthy relationship with people. Because how can we say we love the Most High, who we have not seen, yet we hate our brothers that we see? It is, if we say that, then the truth is not in us. So let us love God. Let us love people, because God is love. Big up to all the persons on the platform. Listen, I want to thank all of you, right, for all the love and the support that you have been showing. Listen, we know that the channel it is growing, and we are grateful for that. Today I want to ask you that if you can, tomorrow is Super Friday, but maybe some of you won't be able to watch tomorrow, but we need some super chat and some super stickers. Come on, just drop something on the board, follow the lead of Mr. Brain Drain himself, who dropped the first super chat of the day, and that is very good. Hit the like button, people. Share the content with others, and if you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Big up to Brain Drain, Fresh God, the master moderator on these platforms. Jason, up and running every time. Dozrel underscore CMF. Don't have a clue what that means, but bless up every time. My brother, you understand me? Yeah, man. Tennessee is here. You understand me? The big striker is here. Mr. Love Lace. We call him Big 18. You understand me? Tennessee Lewis is here. KW Media is in the building. King Lee, Siobhan Peart, and many others of you. Greetings and salutation to you all. Today, we're going to do a review. There's a show that is going to be done by my brother Stan Cranky, where he's going to deal with the entire EPL, but we're going to take a couple of things out of it. Who had the best season? Who are the clubs with the 4 clubs with the best season in the EPL? Who was the biggest flop? Who was the biggest success? Big up man from Cavaliers. He is the female coach out there at Cavaliers. Everdeen Scarlett is his name. He has a big final coming up this weekend because the game between Olympic Gardens and Fraser's Whip, that game was not played, and so Olympic Garden is facing some hefty fines and sanctions. So Fraser's Whip will play against Cavalier. Will they whip them again? I don't know, which would mean that Cavaliers would have entered 4 finals for this season, and they could walk away without a first place medal. Let us stand back, watch, look, and see what's going to happen over there. All right. Yeah, we're going to look at some EPL stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about the JPL final. We're going to hear from a representative from Mount Pleasant. Yeah, we're going to talk about the people. The tier 2 is very, 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 very competitive. I am telling you, if you draw a game, you could move from 3rd to all the way down to, or from 2nd to all the way down to 5th. We're going to discuss that. Big up Jason Guna in the building. We will also have our friend Jose from Suriname. He's going to give us an update on what is happening in Surinamese football heading into the Gold Cup. Then we're going to talk about TNT or Haiti. Who is next? Which one of these Caribbean nations will be the next one to kind of break through and become consistent in terms of in Concacaf? All right, we'll discuss those things. But before we get to that, calling all the KC people, calling all the KC people, calling all the KC people. I need to know what is going on at Kingston College. I need someone from KC to come and speak to me, to speak with me. Unprecedented chain of events at Kingston College. Recently, you'd have heard that Kingston College is strapped for cash to the point where they were very grateful for some alumni who gave them some finances. And they were saying that they probably were at a point where they will look at, downscaling some of their extracurricular sporting activities because money was an issue. All right. We have also noticed that Ludlow, Bernard, and KC cut ties recently. And then they had a new coach, Mr. Stumpy Watson. And they brought in Mr. Andrew Edwards. Reports have surfaced that both have resigned. What's going on? But we did hear as well that more than 10 persons have applied for the job at Kingston College. And not only that, they say some of those persons are from overseas. Now, Drew Ross, aka Drew Fortis, come on, tell us what's going on at Kingston College, my brother. We need to know what's going on. Is it that they can't pay the coaches? I know up by Calabar. Their money up there is beer greenback they have up there at Calabar. KC have purple back. I don't know. I like that idea, Brain Drain. People, Brain Drain is asking if we're going to add a bad mind people section to our program. Disguise it as helping. That's a good one. But Drew Fortis, I really need to hear from someone from KC because it seems like there is some issues financially there. And people are just leaving, in different sporting disciplines. But one thing with KC, people are always craving the opportunity to be a part of any coaching staff at Kingston College. They have that kind of a pull. Purple power going through a purple patch. Yes, a purple patch. Casey, purple patch of money is gone. I don't know. KC have people in high places. So this one video could cause many people to help, to lend a hand to the efforts there. Do you think a day will come when we'll be reviewing the Arabic League? Hey, Brain Drain, I'm telling you, I think that is where a lot of eyes will be. I think if Messi had gone, it would have been even a bigger pull. But I think because Messi has moved to MLS, and other players, I think Luis Suarez has also moved to the MLS as well. So when you think about that, you probably figure that MLS is going to blow up in terms of fans and supporters for the club, which is similar fans, and attracting more players. I could see that happening. I could see Neymar moving to MLS or even going to Saudi Arabia to play as well. So the dynamics are shifting in football. So big things happening in MLS. Big things happening as well in Saudi Arabia out there. I know they are trying to host the World Cup, I think, in 2030 as well, which means that is why they're pulling some of these pulling some of these big names. Yeah, Busquets is also heading in that direction as well. You understand me? But let me get some of your comments. Similar to on Long Beach, Ice-T. Suarez in the MLS, though he was playing in Brazil with Gremio, yeah. TV rights, Triple E, blessings. Triple E says TV rights will be big for these players, yeah. Man from Manchester says Andrew need to just come back to Mandeville and continue his work with his kids. Oh, he had stopped that? Don't tell me that Andrew Edwards had stopped that, man. No, man. Man, no one wants to watch an old man league. What you talk? Hey, show up on them. You would go and watch Messi in MLS. Messi is old, man. You would go and watch Messi. You would go and watch Busquets. Come on, man. What are you talking about? You're telling me that you wouldn't go and watch Messi? Di Maria gone where? Di Maria gone MLS as well? What? Ramos rumored to be headed to Atlanta United as well. Listen, people, this is going to shift and change the dynamics. I'm telling you. Brain Drain, what you want me to do? Brain Drain, you know where we are. Once you go to the, once you're a part of Calabar, there's a way there's a way to do things, Brain Drain, man. we I know, I'm telling you that the biggest one of the ways is to beat your opponent is always to be a step ahead. We play chess, we're big player, played a lot of chess, the King's Gambit and all of those things, And here's the thing with chess. You have to not be one move ahead. Even if you're playing the 4-move checkmate, when you start out with the 4-move checkmate, you still have to have a secondary plan. And that secondary plan is like 4 other moves if the 4-move checkmate don't work. All right? So that is the smart, So we're not 1 step ahead. We are 8 steps ahead. We start out with a 4-move checkmate, but we have the moves for the counter to that as well. So we can do it in 9 moves. Understand, brain drain? You know how to. Yeah. So let's get some more comments because we have a lot to cover today. Dima, I need to hear from you. Did West Ham have a better season than Liverpool? Busquets to Miami. Jordi Alba. Hey, fresh got a guess here, I guess, man. Anything on the CAC game and the Gold Cup? Yeah, we're going to talk about Suriname, Trinidad, Haiti, Gold Cup. You understand me? Yeah, man. MLS going to be hot. Meeting of the Messi one. All right. I see what I mean. All kind of things going on. In MLS is going to get better, man. I'm telling you, people, it's going to be. Keep dropping those super stickers, super chats, and your comments, people. You understand me? He's still working with the kids. No, it's not a retire. I can't agree with Messi going to MLS, making it a retirement league. You know that a lot of people saying this. A Liverpool fan would take Messi at Liverpool right now. A United fan would take Messi at Manchester United. An Arsenal fan would take Messi right now at Arsenal. Tottenham would take him. Chelsea would take him. Would that make those clubs retirement clubs? Or the EPL a retirement league? Come on, man. This is Messi. B. Douglas, blessings. He says Messi is still playing better than 98% of the player. He's still considered as the best player in the world. True. I don't know. 98% is a high number still. The money will have to grow in the MLS. Yeah, man. Big up Dave Anthony. The White says the Saudi League is a retirement league. Nah, man. Well, it was good from before. And I think also part of Messi and some of these players going there, I think the organizer of the World Cup will use this as a way of promoting the World Cup in 2026. So I think this is very, very strategic, and it is a work in progress with MLS Soccer and the organizers of the World Cup. Man. There are some of the names of the squad. I cannot believe that they call a person who not playing and leave out players that are playing. Carlton, Lovelace. Nobody has the 20 people. Listen, we never check sources. The squad has not been named, Soldier. So where you get names from in the squad, Soldier? And everything with a run within us. Soldier, the squad has not been named. Come on, Soldier, man. No get drawn into that trap, man. Don't get drawn into that trap, man. You're talking about chess, Jason. You know that I am not unbeatable, But I was a top chess player, Right now, still in a people, Even when you come on to draft, man, high quality, Yeah, like 11-15 and 11-16, those are draft moves, wings and them thing there, People who play draft, you have to be. Hey, people. Yeah, man, you see dominoes. Draft and chess, them board game days, crazy 8s. You understand me? Phase 10. Phase 10 is like Kaluki, you know that. You say, man is man. Man is man. Man is man can teach it. If you want to be stars in those things, yeah man, we can give you some lessons, man. I refer Morris, I'm not going to touch that one. You understand? Brethren, this is no joke, man. Zidane and Henry are going to play in nothing like that, man. Come on. You just realize that you don't really have a solid point. Show up for them. And you come up with Henry and Zidane not going to play in there, man. Yeah. There you go. Messi just win World Cup. And Messi could play in the next World Cup. People think Messi could be in the Argentina team for the next World Cup. But a lot of people who talking, Fresh God, I guarantee you, Fresh God, that many Manchester United fans, would you want Messi right now at Manchester United? Messi or Eriksen? Who would you pick? Who do you pick? What them say? None of them can beat me in a draft and chess, man. I tell you, man. Eh? If you had Eriksen, if you had a choice between Eriksen, because Eriksen is there, and Messi, honestly, people, wouldn't you want Messi over him? Chelsea fans, who do you want? Kai Havertz or Messi? Liverpool fans, who do you want? Yo, so when I tell me that you don't want Messi, yo, man, maybe if you have a show on this. So no Premier League club want Messi right now. A joke now, man. I am sure that if Messi was at Manchester United, they'd have done better this season. If he were at Chelsea, they would have done better. Liverpool, they would have done better. And even Arsenal. No. AQ, we couldn't do that. But there are players in the Liverpool starting 11 that Messi would be better than right now. What about? Hold on. Stop telling him, hey, Freddie Butler, come on and tell him on them. People, so me play domino with them on them. First thing them on them start playing. Let me tell you them on they play domino. If the game broke, so you the 3, me win. The game broke, so we call it in a domino. Alright? You see the next game, here the man that come tell me. Them win a game. Them gone 2. The man win 1. The man want to win 1 game and see a 2. Me ask the man about basketball. Because of only basketball you get 2 pointer. In a domino, a 1 you get. So the first thing, me have to change the rule. Alright? I'm going to tell you people in. Let me reveal the people in Florida secret. Freddie Butler and Russian and Spider and Chucky and the whole of them. Let me reveal on a secret. People, let me tell you what them man they play. So the man I play domino. Me up there, I play. I beat them body in the domino, you know. I beat them body in the domino. I gone 5. Alright, game come to block. Me and the man say to him teammate. The man say how much you have? The man say, block the game. The man tell the man to block the game, you know. So me I say, what kind of domino that? The man them say I saw them play. you're supposed to you can tell your opponent to block the game. The only issue is them have to block it. So I say no, say Domino play. You understand me? The man them tell each other say you can block the game and nothing wrong with that. So all right. So them say how me play. Me say, yeah man say how much? How much you have? You say, 2. Or you say, 2. Understand me? Yeah, AQ. Them see I saw them play. Them see I saw them play after that. So me say to the man, them say, no, in a Jamaica, them say, how much you have? You say, 2. The man them say, what is the difference? If when a man ask you, you say 2 or you say block the game. Them say the same thing. Because when you say 2, you tell the man to block the game. So why them I say, nobody make no noise in the house. Just say block the game. I said the man them play domino, I want 6 me people. I want count 1 game for 2. But this man don't play them kind of domino yet. Big up the whole of the man there. So you understand me? But that is what going down in Florida with the domino playing. But them can't beat me, man. I beat and teach, man. You understand me? I beat and teach, man. Beat and teach. CC says he wants to come and talk about Messi to Chelsea. You understand me? So we're here from CC. Been a minute. Yeah. Then that me I tell you. Yeah. You understand me? That the man, listen. The man, alright. So them are playing, the man, them all are. Alright. So them have a domino them. So them a domino, right? A man want them play now. Them put the domino down at the end, you know. Like them want you play down at the end, them put them domino upon the board and put it. I know say domino play. You're supposed to can read your game. You're not supposed to talk. Anyways, we're not really full up the show with domino talk still. But say AQ just as bad. If a man go say, "Do," he say just as bad as say block the game. You know, make no difference. Yeah. So I don't know. You say just as bad. All right. But yeah, man. So but you can't win 1 game and 1-2. No 1-1, no play 2, brother. A 1 game you win. It's broke and start. So if me win 1 and you win 1, the game broke. We are start back from 0. You cannot win 1 game and you get 2 unless the game block and both persons count the same amount. You play a derby game or a derby game, however I know and pronounce it. You cannot win 1 game and get 2. This is not basketball and nonsense that. 1 for every game you win. Me not play, no man can give me no 6 love when they win 1 game and get 2. A 5 you're gone. That's my rule. When a business when nobody not wants it. That's my rule. 1 you get for your game. That's my rule. So you can create your own. When me I play, that's my rule. Big up yourself. Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, so people, EPL review. I've heard this nonsense that West Ham had a better season than Arsenal because they won a trophy. What kind of madness is that? Big up to Mikel Antonio and his West Ham team. Right? And his West Ham team for winning the Europa Conference League. Brethren, but we want the people them understand. West Ham did not have a better season than Arsenal, than United. It means you don't see it CC. Of course it is. How much time you want? CC. Unless you have a new number. Not because they won. Hey CC, where your camera ready, man? Where you going with, man?
Me,
Go on,
a-
make.
me there I saw deal with something else too, man. That's why. But me know me I
Oh,
watch the show and I talk to this one.
all right. Go ahead. Say your thing because me know you're probably busy. What say you? Who
Yeah.
did first question I want to ask you? Who do you take Messi at Chelsea?
No, not at this moment. Because
Why?
number one, the fee when Messi I go command doesn't make no
No,
sense. At
forget the fee. I'm talking about footballing reasons, not money. Who do you take Messi?
footballing reasons,
Yeah.
it all depends still on mornings, man. Footballing reasons, if it's footballing reasons, I could use him. I could take him at Chelsea. If it's footballing reasons. If it comes down to footballing reasons, I could take him at Chelsea. But I mean, if it comes down to but the money wise, it doesn't make it possible. But then I get
Okay.
so at this current moment, remember that Chelsea is not even we are not even playing in the Champions League next season. So the level of pressure that we would have is different than the level of pressure that if it was a team going into the Champions League and all those things. So I think with the current squad and the current makeup of the squad that we have, I could use a Lionel Messi in the fact that he has won so many titles and we're looking to inject some form of championship DNA into the team, in and amongst the players there. However, I think this whole thing with Messi, for me, Messi going to MLS is not for footballing reasons.
Let me
Primarily,
say,
primarily,
primarily. Yeah.
primarily. So number one, he said, and I don't know if they misquoted him or what, but as he said that is because it wasn't possible to go back to Barcelona. It's time to play football in a different country under less. What will you say now? With a more peace of mind, even though he wants to win things just the same and do well. But he will be doing that at a much more peace of mind and focusing more on his family. So then it's not like Barcelona, when I say football, not saying that he's not focusing on his family now, and management, but listen to the words that he used. To focus on his family, to have a peace of mind, and to experience football in another country. Second of all, the reason why the deal probably hasn't, the entire deal wasn't trashed out when he announced that he was going there. Because when he announced that he was going there, he was saying that it is not 100% complete, but they have decided to move forward because his choice was to also have ownership into a club. So based on the deal that is being proposed or what is rumored until we can see it come out in its entirety, you would have some form of ownership stake in Inter Miami with after he finished plays.
Brain Drain is saying that Messi said no such thing.
No, I'm saying to you that Brain Drain can always say what he want to say. Remember, they have Mundo Deportivo and a lot of other stuff. So if Brain Drain is to do his research, he can go do his research. I never said he actually said it. I said what is reported as him being saying it. It is reported that he said that. So what are going to say? It is reported that Messi is the one that said he's going to Inter Miami. So tell me now, Brain Drain, did Messi not say that? Any, but the thing about it to me though, man is man. Going to Inter Miami means that I don't think Messi is considering going to the World Cup unless Argentina is after
But the World
taking.
Cup will be in the United States.
Yes, the World Cup will be in the only that's the thing now. The only reason why Argentina probably end up picking Messi for the next World Cup is number one is Lionel Messi and his stature. Number two, as I said, in the USA. The World Cup is going to be held. But if you have 23 players performing at a certain level in Europe, at a higher level, would you not give those 23 players the opportunity, irrespective of the
So
legend?
let me ask you a different question. Do you believe that Thiago Silva add more value to your Chelsea team than if Messi was there?
That's why me I tell you, say man is man. Thiago Silva came at a certain age as well. So I would not say. Remember, Thiago Silva plays in defense, which he probably not expend the amount of energy that Lionel Messi would have to be expending playing in the middle of the park. But that's why I said that Chelsea could use a player like Lionel Messi and a skill set of a Lionel Messi, as opposed to some other teams. We have used a Thiago Silva and won the Champions League. So it's not like say we utilize a Thiago Silva at the ripe old age of 36, going to 37, won the UEFA Champions League. So it wouldn't be a first for us to take a player of that age and go on. I think he could have played at another club in Europe, but as I said before, I don't think, apart from the PSG move, and I thought the PSG move was to take pressure off himself going into the World Cup. Leading up to the World Cup and leading up to the Copa, I think that the PSG move took a lot of pressure off of him, because when he was playing for Barcelona, the pressure playing for Barcelona at that point in time, when they never had the level of players at his caliber, like when they had the Xavis and the Iniestas and those guys, you could see the pressure on him, because they realized that Barcelona was not competing at the level that they were competing before. So for him to be there trying to carry this Barcelona load by himself in front of 90,000 Camp Nou supporters who expect trophies at the end of the season, I think when it came down to it, because of the financial decision and everything, he went to PSG, which PSG wasn't his team, so it wasn't his burden. So he was expected to contribute, but it was necessarily his burden. So him moving on to Inter Miami, as I said before, a stake in a ownership stake is something that when Brian GNMC the contract come out. Remember when David Beckham moved to MLS? Nobody was going to MLS at that point in time. David Beckham signed a contract that allowed him to purchase an MLS franchise when it came to a certain, I think, I remember the time when it came to, for I think a fixed fee for 25 million or so, if I'm not mistaken. That same franchise that he purchased, which is Inter Miami right now, is valued at 20 times what he paid for it back then at that time. So when David Beckham was going to MLS, David Beckham wasn't going to MLS primarily for footballing reasons. He was going there primarily for business reasons.
But you really believe that something wrong with your phone? You have to mute it when you're not talking. You really believe that David Beckham is going to sell Messi piece of his club? Isn't that David Beckham's club? Yeah, he's not going there to get piece of Beckham. I don't think Beckham planned on selling any portion of his club to Messi or making him an investor. I think this has to do with soccer in the USA, because MLS also, this is important to their brand. And I think overall, MLS will benefit because other players, whether you want to call them old or not, are going to come in and play. Manchester United signed Zlatan, don't it?
Yes.
And he was old. So let me ask you this. How old is Karim Benzema?
35.
So who do you take, Karim Benzema at Chelsea?
Karim Benzema right now? No, I wouldn't.
You don't think Karim Benzema is better than every one of the striker you have right now?
Yeah, I think he is. However, the injury concern, man. I think Karim Benzema is better than every striker that I currently have at the team. Yes. But will Karim Benzema play 30 games for me?
But I really...
No, that's the situation in the man. Will he play 30 games?
Somebody is saying that Messi was offered ownership at Inter Miami. We will see.
Listen, it can be, watch out. It can be that it is not Inter Miami that he has offered ownership. Because remember that David Beckham contract never stated him getting a ownership stake in any of the current franchises. But if a franchise came up, he would have had basically first dibs. He would have been the one that they would go.
Well, isn't San Diego is the next franchise?
Yes, so I'm saying to you that if it can be a case where the next franchise that comes up, Lionel Messi, it has to come to Lionel Messi first before anybody else can get an opportunity to own it. Because it's a similar situation that Inter Miami went through, and he got Inter Miami the franchise. So I'm not saying it's technically David Beckham. And remember that David Beckham is the player that when he came they had to change the rule to have the whole designated player rule and stuff because of the. So there's a lot of things, and as you alluded to, the World Cup coming up, more than likely the the MLS could market Lionel Messi for the next 3 to 4 years leading up to the World Cup. With probably every World Cup advertisement you've seen from the US might have Lionel Messi in it for commercial purposes as well. So it's a World Cup that I plan to go. So there's a lot of things that can be leading up to the decision for this deal. Plus the point of making yourself a household name in the US for the next couple of years or so. A lot of guys did it. When Pele did it way back when time before it was MLS. Something there. You see David Beckham did it, Henry did it. A lot of these guys did it, so I don't see the knock on Lionel Messi to go there. The problem that people have is that when Cristiano Ronaldo made his move, a lot of persons was saying it's a sad end to his career, especially so for them to say it's a sad end to Cristiano Ronaldo's career because he's going to the Saudi Arabian League, and persons are saying that they're not saying it's a sad end to Lionel Messi career. I think that's where the rift is between those two camps that is always rivaling and saying who is better than who is that.
Yeah. All right, we have an ex Chelsea man here. CC just mute. Yeah, Unseen. You have the wrong picture behind you, bro. You need a Mount Pleasant picture behind you, man.
Don't worry yourself, man. You're supposed to change. I'll put a Mount Pleasant behind.
Yeah. Who do you take Messi at Chelsea right now?
No, based on the trajectory that Chelsea is on, I think they're trying to use youths. No one is, man. It will cost too much money. I don't see that. Don't see like they're going that way.
Would you take Karim Benzema at Chelsea?
Same age thing. Was a good player.
So Messi is not a good player.
He's a good player, but he's not scoring a goal.
Who?
How much goal Messi score over PSG? Answer the question, no?
Oh boy. I'd seen. Oh jeez. Hey.
Messi are going in retirement, you know.
Okay. So Unseen. So West Ham with Mikel Antonio won the Europa Conference League. All right. People are saying that they had a better season than Arsenal because they won a trophy. What say you?
No. Arsenal, you know, to me, Arsenal a better season. New coach in, working with those, you know, some players who are not really big name players and getting them to really, you know, challenge a team like Manchester City, you know, beating up Chelsea, those big team, and Man U. They really do a wonderful job, management, and you know, they change the mindset going forward for next season. That, you know, Arsenal will be there and will be playing quality football. I think the coach just need to fix up a couple of years and come again.
But you know that this is Arteta's third season though, because he got a half season when Unai Emery left. He had a full season last season, and then he had this season.
Yes, man. But you know, it's a team that when he come into the job, he had to do a lot of changes, man. A lot of things, and you know, things take time. Imprinting philosophy and style of play and stuff like that. So it take time, and him a bear fruit now. You understand me? Just like Klopp.
Yeah, General, I ask you if you'd coach Mount Pleasant.
If what?
If you'd coach Mount Pleasant.
You're so serious team you will coach, man. Tell him to go and wait.
All right. Here's the next question now, Ansi. All right. Who are the 5 teams that had the best season in England? Give me your list of 5 teams. And you said these are the 5 teams with the best season. Go ahead.
Man City, Arsenal.
You have to give me them in order, you know.
Oh, so first team are Man City.
Yeah.
The first team are Man City. The next team now I'm gonna go with Arsenal. After Arsenal now, Arsenal. What I say? Man U never bad neither. So I'm gonna go with Man U, Newcastle, and then West Ham.
And West Ham. Okay. All right. So those are your 5. CC, give me your 5 teams with the best season.
Teams with the best season.
Yeah.
The teams with the best season. The top 4, obviously. Not for really.
Give me them in,
the top
give
4,
me them in
obviously,
order.
for obvious reason.
In the same order.
Man City. Yeah, in the same order. Man City winning the league. Arsenal finishing second. Something there. I think Man U finishing what, third, and Newcastle finishing fourth. So I don't know.
All right. I see people asking about Brighton. About Brighton and Aston Villa.
Hold on, man. That's a message. That's a message.
Go ahead, CC. CC. And see, we're losing CC. All right.
You know, hear me?
No,
yeah, hear me now. So what I would say is this. Brighton. I think Brighton would have been 15.
So the top 4
Brighton.
and then Brighton. You know.
But then I'm gonna tell you the context.
Why would Brighton have a better season than? Okay, so you say Brighton. So why would Brighton have a better season than Liverpool?
I think Brighton, Villa, then Brighton. All right, why Brighton had a better season than Liverpool is because Brighton the season before. All right, the season before Liverpool finished the league 1 point out of. So my reasoning is based off base year. So you have to start from somewhere. Liverpool is starting from 1 point behind Man City the season before, almost winning a treble because they was in a quadruple. They were in every competition up to the last part of it, right? So the season that they had prior to going into the 2022-23 season, the expectation that is on Liverpool, because personal like use expectation, but the expectation is on Liverpool is that coming off 1 point losing the league by a point, they're expecting Liverpool to challenge for the title again and to challenge in those numerous competitions they're in. Brighton, however, is coming from a place where they never qualified for Europe the season before. So for them now to come and finish, I think how much points them finished behind Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken. Brighton, they finished last year in 9th and 15 points.
They finished 5 points behind Liverpool.
They finished 9th last year, 51 points. Yeah, they finished 9th last year, 51 points. That's 41 points behind Liverpool last year. And Liverpool finished second with 92 points. And then they finished 6th this year, 5 points behind Liverpool. So if on paper, Liverpool would have judged to be having a better season because they finished 5th in the league. However, when you do it on a broader scope, Brighton's season would have been a much more successful season than Liverpool's season. So Brighton would have had a more successful season than Liverpool. However, on paper, Liverpool would have had the better league finish, if we must say that. But Brighton would have had a much more successful season than Liverpool, given even their placement in the current season, because Brighton would have made up a 41-point gap on Liverpool, bring it down to 5 points. Brighton would have had the more successful season. Because I don't want to use the word better, and it conflates the whole argument. So in that sense, I think Brighton would be the 5th team. Manchester United.
All right, hold on, CC. Based on your numbers, and we have Soldier on the line. I soon come to you, Soldier. Based on your numbers, then City never had a better season than some of the other teams, given the amount of points they had last season, and where they are this season. They didn't make a lot of improvement.
Yeah, they didn't make a lot of improvement, but they were able. Even though they fell a bit from last season, they were able to withstand the challenge of an Arsenal and still remain the league winners. So even though they never had the season that they had last season, they retained their trophy. So the fact that they retained the title, being challenged by Arsenal having led the league for such a long period, I would necessarily give them and say, all right, they are the best season of all of the other clubs, because it's not like they lost points, but that is as about other teams challenging. Newcastle being better, Arsenal being better. So a lot of teams was better this season. Brighton was better. Brighton was better. Newcastle was better. Arsenal is better. So there's a lot of teams that came to the forefront. So them losing like probably 4 points, they'll drop about 4 points off from last season, or whoever win the league or retain the title.
Yeah. Big up 007, Colin Sinclair up in the building. Soldier, your time. What say it you? Manchester United man in the building. Yeah, man.
Yeah, for me, if I best team when we would say they were the best, I'm going to give us Arsenal, Man U, Newcastle, Aston Villa, and Brighton.
You say you have Arsenal.
Brighton before Aston Villa.
You have Arsenal.
Yeah. Where then coming from last, I check on last season they finish, because they're not finishing like that for now. So Man City already will do well. So I say most improved team, because when Man U coming from 59 points.
Your 5 most improved team is Arsenal.
Yeah.
Newcastle. Man U second. Then Newcastle. Then Brighton.
And Brighton and Aston Villa.
So what? Okay, so you don't think Brentford did a whole lot more than Aston Villa this season?
I remember Brentford. I did remember Brentford. Brentford come from 2. But remember, say Brentford finished either Aston Villa last season, and Brighton. So Brentford, but I've only 5 years, so I have to go with them.
All right.
I have to go with them 5. I have to go with them 5 then.
All right. So who do you take? Let me ask you the next question. Who do you take? Who do you take Messi at Manchester United this season, if he were available?
No, man. No, I don't want Messi on my side. I don't want Messi on my team. I'm going to mash up my team if he come on my team. Because you want if you play around him, and Man U player, them not go. And like Fergie did over talk, them Man U player, they not go and play, not go on that, because every man wants to score on my side, so it wouldn't work. Messi wouldn't work on my.
Would you take Karim Benzema?
Benzema? Yeah, I'm going to take Benzema.
So you really want to take Messi over when him Wigglehouse?
We call Wigglehouse.
The big old tall player will play center forward for you.
The boy, I manage to make them boy come on. Of course, but they take Messi over him, because they man is not good none at all. I manage just making get drink come from Alan, the manager making come get a food, man. No, I worst player come to Manchester United. Worst player. Yeah, but you see, Messi take Messi over him, of course. Messi take Messi over him, but I don't really want Messi on my side.
Okay.
I don't really want Messi on my side. That he, as much as me love Neymar, me never too interested in Neymar neither.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Carl? We have a next one coming in.
Yeah, man. No, true, you tell me, because last night I hear something, but you tell me something about what we say to you after chat. We send a voice note to you.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right. Yeah, man. Yeah. But the squad, the World Cup squad no name yet still. I mean, that's why you know that. But, you know, I guess people can assume things. Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, then. Cool.
All right.
Yeah. All right, that was...
Yeah, big up Unseen on next Monday.
Yeah, man. Unseen
Big up.
Changing background picture to Cavaliers. Next week, you're going to put a Mount Pleasant one up there. Make up your mind.
Yeah. Hello.
Tiga. Hello. Yeah, man. Hello.
Yeah, well,
which team you support?
No, my team are going to play the Champions League, brother. You don't know that already.
Oh, City. So would you take Messi like how Gundogan leaving? Would you take Messi?
Listen. I have this discussion already.
Mahrez leaving.
All right. I had this discussion with a couple of people already, you know, and then I talk about Messi and stuff like that, and the whole man league him gone to. Listen, Messi can play for any top club that is playing now, any top club, whether it be Juventus, whether it be Inter Milan, whether it be Manchester City, whether it be over Germany, anywhere, any league, Messi. But the thing about it, they cannot afford it. You understand? Them can't afford it. His resume big and they can't afford it. He's one of the best players in the world. So it's not a retirement league. The package that he got at Inter Milan is a good package. Who are going to that? Them going to pay for him shirt. You're going to get a percentage for him jersey. You're going to get percentage of a TV rights. You're going to have the potential to own a club. And plus you're going to get 60 million euro annually. Come on, man. A lifetime deal. That's a lifetime deal. How him all. And in picking still collect money. So that's a lifetime deal. Now, let me address the local man with that talk about the top five and Manchester drop off. There's so much holes in the points that they're trying to make, right? You were saying that Manchester.
Oh yeah. Cici's a Chelsea man, so careful now, you know.
No, Chelsea, not Cici, the other one, the other brother, my other brother.
Yeah, not seen, unseen. Unseen.
Yes.
Tiga coming at you, so listen good enough. Go ahead, Tiga.
No, you were saying that who was having the better season. When you come on to City, you were saying that City lose points. That means although they still win the league. If you were looking at his view, although City lose points, that means that other teams in the league didn't play up to standard. Because if City can win the league by less points than what they do the previous season, that means that other teams never improve. So they punch all right hand thing again.
No. Wait,
no.
People, Tiga.
You mean no?
Tiga. Me not think you hear it.
Now listen.
Hold on there.
No. He was saying, I know it was the wrong one. He was saying that.
Hold on there. CC that said that. But more you repeat what you said. More you repeat what you said. But,
right.
But while you're saying it, listen to yourself. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Listen to yourself. Go ahead.
All right. He was saying that Manchester City win the league by less points than what they did the last time around, right? Yeah. And he was calculating that the other team did good. But if you're looking at abroad, if Manchester City win it by less points, or say the average points to win the team was this, they blow it up by that, and they win it by less points. I mean, so when you look at the other team, then they improve because if you're going to set out the team, you look at the team and say,
Tiga.
Well, I know. Listen to me reason. If you're a coach and you say, all right, Manchester win this league by at least with 70 points. So the average for me to win the league, I have to get like 76 or 75. But then again, will fall short. Manchester didn't win it by 70. They win it by 69 or 68. That means that they didn't win it to the standard so they drop point. And you yourself didn't reach up to the 72 that you project your side. So you want to say that your side improved?
No, you're missing. I think you're off on this one. You know, I'm telling you, you're off. And this may give CC credit.
All right.
City
All right.
won the league by with 89 points this season, which is a fall off from the previous season. All right. They were almost 30 points ahead of Arsenal. That gap was closed by Arsenal to less than 10 points.
Okay.
And that alone, he's saying that Arsenal had a better season than City for that reason.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I see your point. No,
Yes.
yes, I see. Yes, I see. I apologize.
Yes, so that is the point he's making. He's saying that
I apologize.
City was so far ahead, right? Though they still won, this team came so close to them. Like Newcastle was
I see what
almost
you're
at
saying.
relegation to reach where they are.
Right.
Their season, in terms of points accumulation, is a whole lot.
I see what you're saying now.
Yes, so that's what they're saying. So they were able to accumulate way more points this season than they did the season before.
Then, all right, I see.
But the man,
all right, I see the point.
The man must say, Tiga, that you're a big man. So they want,
all right. Let me see the next point. Let me get the next point. Let me see the next point.
What they want to find out, a big man like you, when did you start watching football to support?
To support City.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this was all right. This was I think we discussed this already, you know. All right. To the fans out there, the millions and millions of fans out there watching Iron Show Sports. All right. Tiga started to watch Manchester City after, because Tiga was a supporter of Bolton Wanderers. When Bolton Wanderers got relegated, right, I had a group, and for me to be in the discussion, I had to pick another side. So then I picked Manchester City out of nowhere. So then I started to support Manchester City. Come on, man. Manchester City don't have a lot of fans. Anybody say them follow Manchester City from them band? It's a lie. It's a lie. I can tell you straight off the back, I was a Bolton Wanderers fan when Ricardo Gardner was there. I used to follow all the Jamaicans. Yes.
Tiga, you look like you just start watch football.
No, man.
So
I watch football a long time, man.
But you start watching Bolton Wanderers when Bibi started playing for Bolton, they were not in the Premier League, so you weren't supporting.
Yeah, man. They were. That's what I'm telling. All right, that's about 5 years ago. They were in Division 2.
So
at the time.
So you were watching Division 2 football.
Yeah, man. Of course, man. With Russia, I'm not watching Nandelo, Russian and Diamonds. When Nandelo go Russian and Diamonds. When Theodore Whitmore go Swansea.
No, man. Theodore Whitmore go Swansea after Gardner, you know. That way after Gardner, you know.
Yeah, man. Them tell us that them the league, them me watch Jamaican, because remember we just come off at the 90 football and me watch it.
So you're saying that you never used to watch Premier League?
Yeah, man. I watch Premier League, but I was listen to the thing. I was a Devils fan. But I go church. Yes.
So that the people
yes. Yes, I was a Devil fan.
Now you come out talking truth. No. So the man,
yes, man, I was a Devil fan. I was a Devil fan.
People,
but I go church.
The man used to support Manchester United. He didn't get saved.
Yes.
I didn't say done with it.
Yes. Yes, precisely so. You hit the nail on the head. Yes, because you know, growing up in Jamaica, you know, you don't want to have no farmer them something there, you know, you're not dealing with them something there. So once I got saved, I'm not dealing with the devil no more. I'm telling you. Yeah, that's that.
All right, so what?
You know, you know.
Yeah. So what do you think about your team, though? Your team position, Champions League coming up this weekend. Just give us a little take on your team, and then we have one of our friends from Suriname who is going to join us. to tell us about what is happening with Suriname. But what is going on with
right now
for the Champions League?
I think they're right now they're in good. They're in good mood when we read up on the website and stuff like that. They're in good mood and they're ready. They're ready to go. Everything is well. You understand? About 2 days ago, I read that Kyle Walker didn't train with the team, but he's back with the team and he's training. So everything is going smoothly and stuff like that. So let's hope that they have the good game. If we score first, then it's all over. You understand? So yeah. So let's do it. But if not, I think the Yaya Toure thing is going to be in effect. So that's the only thing me kind of look on now. The Yaya Toure thing. I don't know if you remember that Yaya Toure thing. Are you not too? You don't remember that? You don't remember
with
that?
Yaya Toure and Pep?
No, Yaya Toure mother. The Yaya Toure mother said Pep will never win Champions League. So I don't know if that going to swing. Yes, I don't know if that going to swing. If that swing, now I believe so, you know, you can't play with them people.
Yeah, and wasn't it Hull that Tapper and Pepe played for?
Yes, they play for Hull. They play for Hull City, and then they play for Hull. And I think one of them they go to Swansea, but I forgot to check. I think one of them go to Swansea.
Wasn't it Walter Boy?
Walter Boy.
Yeah, Walter Boy got to Swansea.
Tapper never played for
Swansea, and Whitmore was playing for Hull.
Yeah.
And Tranmere Rovers.
And Tranmere Rovers.
And Tranmere, yes, yeah. And then he got by for Preston. That was the biggest thing when he got by for Preston, and then the drugs thing came in, and he never get to play that football.
Okay.
That's was Anandalo I'm talking about. Where did he sign the contract to play for Preston?
Where did Anandalo get by for Preston?
Yes.
So got from
Preston,
Russian and Diamonds.
Preston. Yeah, from Russian Diamonds. Yeah, from Preston. Yeah, Preston was the last team. Yeah, Preston was the last. Because Preston was. Yes, you're right.
Hey, Tiga.
Yes, not Preston.
Hey, Tiga.
Yes, no, man.
Tiga.
Hold on, no. The information. Hold on, no. She no man. The old man.
Tiga.
Yeah, it was Coventry City.
Tiga, a be wrong information you give away, no Tiga.
One information. One. Yeah, it was Coventry City. Yes, it was Coventry City. I just say the club may get it wrong. It was Coventry City. And Duxton played in, and then him get kicked. And then him go America, and we're supposed to play with Ronaldo, and then him
I lose to that Romario. Romario.
Tigat, yes, anytime, Tigat, yes, anytime you're on any program, and you see Marlon.
Now we write on my facts then.
Yeah. You say, all right, give me a minute.
No, because this one is half the bat, you know. This one is half the bat. This me, no man. This one is half the bat. Now I try to think out of my head. I think and attack.
So hold on, Tigat. So wait a second, you try to think out of your head. Where you normally think from?
That's right, bro.
Anyway, my friend from Suriname, and he's going to give us some update on what is going on with Suriname for the Gold Cup, because this EPL show, Cranky is going to be doing the EPL show, going through everything. I just had that question because of the whole Messi thing. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. Cranky is going to be doing it. He said, please use accurate Google for your information. You got big up yourself.
Big up yourself, fans. Millions.
All right, see, you're going to Chicago, sir? So you know that there's a group for the people going to Chicago.
Hold on. I have some. I was planning to go. I have everything set to go to Chicago, but I have a debt in Jamaica, so that's Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
You understand? So yes. So everything just mash up.
Oh, so you'll be in Jamaica. All right, bless up to you.
Yeah, in Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, then cool. All right, so yeah, man, we have with us Ose is my friend. Oh, well, he's in Port St. Lucie at Makosako club, but he's from Suriname. Last time he was here, he's talking about the new player passport thing that Suriname was doing, and that they are trying to get younger players into the Suriname national team. Through that means they have made some changes recently, and they have a squad that I'm going to show you as Jose speak, so you can see the squad. That's a Suriname squad. So yeah, welcome to the show, Jose. Good afternoon to you.
Greetings, Mannings man.
CC, Unseen, and Marlon on the platform as well.
Already. Greetings, everyone.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So, Mannings.
Yeah.
Before you start your session, I basically would like to mention that exactly today, June 7th, has been 34 years, as a matter of fact, since they had the plane crash in Suriname, where 18 players from the at that time it was players living in the Netherlands who were coming back to Suriname to basically start this process that we're talking about today. It's been 34 years since the plane crashed and landed. I mean, where they all died in Suriname. On that, was 176 people on that aircraft, 18 players. Which were basically, they have Surinamese parents, and they were coming back to basically kickstart this whole process that we're going to be talking about today. So it's exactly 34 years. So basically, it's a day of mourning in Suriname today, as a matter of fact.
All the players died?
All of them, and except for one of them, he was injured. One survived. Of course, he's in a wheelchair right now. But it was the largest aircraft crash in the history of the country, where 176 people died. I don't know if you can go back and read the history of it, what really happened there. But this whole process, as we're going to talk about now, it started back then, where they were going to start importing players to form this whole process, where you have Surinamese living in the Netherlands. We're going to come back to represent the country. And the funny thing is that this particular coach, which they just brought on, he was supposed to be going on that aircraft too, but he because he had playoffs, he couldn't make it.
Oh,
yes. So he was part of that whole process too. We're talking about Henk Concacaf here.
Okay, Henk. How do you pronounce his name?
Concacaf.
Concacaf.
Yes.
Henk. Okay.
Henk Concacaf. Yes, sorry.
Okay, because he's a new coach.
Yeah, he's a new assistant coach, but of course, the history with him is that, of course, he have a long coaching history in the European system market, Ajax, Barcelona, Chelsea. So he's not just you might say an average coach. He's a big time coach. He retired, of course, but then the little history with him is that actually his mother is from Suriname. So even though he was born in the Netherlands. So as I was mentioning before, when people see this whole transition or this new process taking place now, everybody wants to come back home and support the country in whatever form or way in terms of football. And that's what's happening right now. So he just decided to say, you know what, he's going to jump on board and come and help support the thing. Now, he's not even getting paid for this. He's just volunteering his time just to be part of it.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're not paying him. He doesn't want to be paid either way. So, and also I think the same applies for the head coach who they assigned the other day, was Aaron Winter. And as you know, if you know football, you know who Aaron Winter was from Ajax and all those European championships.
Played for the Netherlands.
Yes, he played for the Netherlands. He is also from Suriname. He was born in Suriname, as a matter of fact. But he left at a very young age. So they're all coming back. They're seeing this whole thing as a opportunity to propel the Suriname football again to that level where it used to be back in the 70s and then late 80s, early 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I mean, and you guys have a squad that is in training right now.
Yes. The list I sent you, the top half of the list, those are players in training in the Netherlands. It started on June 2nd. So those players are in Netherlands training because most of them are local in Europe. And the bottom piece of that list are players who will be joining them in the next few days in the United States. because we have a game against Puerto Rico on the 17th, the prelims.
Which is the first. This is the preliminary stages of the Gold Cup.
Correct. Yes.
Right.
So
right. All right. So I mean, I have the top part of the list. I mean, you're probably better at pronouncing those names.
Yeah.
And are these like new players for the most part?
Some of them are new players who haven't been part of the process. So what's going to happen is that, of course, they're going to do a final selection, as you said, on the 11th, I believe. I think you have about 20. I don't know how many players you have on here, but as you can see, the goalkeeper came on there. I think the goalkeeper you see there, I think his name is, I mean, it's so small. Give me a second, man. 1 second.
Oh, you bring it big?
No, I got it. He's on court. He's the one that played against Mexico. That was the goalkeeper in Mexico. The second name on the list, right?
Yes. The first name is Joey
Roggeveen, yes.
Yeah.
Then you have Calvin McIntosh. I think he played before, if I'm not mistaken.
Navajo
backboard. Yeah, he's new. I think he's new. And you have Doraso Class. He's new. Joshua Sanchez is new.
Rossello
Flater.
Yeah, he has played before.
Yeah, his cousin is the one who scores all the goals, the ones at the bottom, which is Hugh Flater. That's his cousin. Yeah, their first cousin. They're two brothers, children. As a matter of fact, they're from my neighborhood back in Suriname. I played against their father.
Okay, and then you have that's
Joshua Sanchez.
Before Joshua Sanchez is Doraso
Class. He's new. I've never heard of him. He's new. Yannick Wilshire, he played. Joshua Sanchez is new also. Joshua Sanchez is new. Michel Tefreda, he played before.
Yannick
Wilshire, he played before. Now his name is Deshaun Redan. He's new. I've never seen him before. He's new.
Del Vecchio
Blackson. I think he was there the last time. Yakuto Ruber. He's new. Anthony Dake-Steele. He's new. Deshanio Haps, you know him. You know him from you know him.
And then
these are the ones at the bottom here who will be joining in the United States camp here. You have Dankala, you know, Spark Slater, I think he's new. Kenneth Paul is new. Denzel Grafenberg, he's new. And the rest of them you should know. You feel Flated, Flora Josephson, Diego Bieseswar. Now also you gotta understand, if they do qualify for the Gold Cup, you will have
more players
coming in, yes. Because like I said, it's just the start of the whole process, because you have players who are just rating because they don't have the sports passport yet. They can't jump on board. They can't officially announce them, but they're coming. So, that's what's going on right now. So they're actually training in the Netherlands, like I said. They started on the 2nd, and then they'll be flying over here to meet up with the other players.
Yeah. Marlon, I know you track a lot of Suriname. You follow the Surinamese team a lot, and I think credit to I think of all the vloggers, the person who covers the most Suriname content is We Max It with JD. But what do you make of this team, Marlon?
I think a few additions will make them better. I didn't see Cherry name in the training squad. I think if he's not there, he's gonna be the biggest miss for them, because he's the one. He and Besiswar are the two better.
Yeah, Cherry, right? Cherry.
I think at 35.
Yeah, Cherry.
Yeah, he might join up later on.
Yeah, because he is a part of the provisional list. I think Cherry and Besiswar are two of the better ball playing midfielders in Concacaf right now.
Midfielder, yes.
Although they are 35. Person who knows about him saw what he did in Concacaf in the Champion League for his team in from Israel.
Israel.
And he also won the league as well. But I think Dinswell, centre back, he will add steel to their defense. I see Ryan Dunk has been recalled. Paul back there again. So, but the thing about it, I think they have more balance now. More balance in the squad. They have quality goalkeepers. It's not nice, man. Have quality goalkeepers now. Instead of Han, what's the name? Ben, the guy that keep against Mexico.
Yeah, Court. That's his name. That's the second one on the list. Ishan Court. He's a younger guy. Yeah.
Very good, very good keeper. Good. Not the biggest goalkeeper, but he can play the ball. I see Haps is back there again.
Yeah. The only one I don't see on this list is Abenda. No. The what's his name again? The Dread. Hold on, let me get you. Abenda, I think. Hold on, Abenda. The defender.
Center back, Abena.
Abena, yes.
Yeah, so I think with Dinswell coming in now, I think he will basically add leadership there. Being age 30, but he's someone who has been around European football. Played for Club Brugge in the Champions League, so he has that experience as well. DL was there for the Mexico game. Middlesbrough player. So so I think I have them to qualify for the Gold Cup, basically. I think they have the easier player fruit than
yeah. Because and also another player I don't see on this list, but normally when they make these selections, they based it on recent games. If you're fit, so that's the thing. I mean, I don't see the Convalles, the little winger that they have out there, the fast one. I think a team in Israel signed him, I believe, not too long ago. But
it's in Suriname, right?
It's Convalles. I think he's he's playing somewhere in Israel or somewhere out there, one of those or one of the European countries, small country. But he wasn't. He's one of their attacker on the wing, little short guy.
He's the one who normally comes down for Joseph.
Yes, he's very good, very fast, but like I said, there's so many options now to pick from. I mean, it's going to get crazy eventually.
There's still players here. You have this guy at Swansea, Piro, the forward at Swansea, and Press were talking about some of them for me. I think Winter is really want to use his experience and his coaching expertise to get these players over.
Yeah.
I see someone have a question. A.M. Henry Female says, and I'll let Cataract kind of take this one first because he has been for a while, and then I will come back to you, Jose, to probably respond because I see Guy Rano, Kirkan, John Paul, Boykios, all kind of names coming up for the Suriname squad. But Cataract, why is Suriname allowed to have part-time citizens when everyone else have to go through the full process? And they said this is not sure. A.M. Henry said that they shouldn't even be playing in Concacaf. They should be playing in South America because they are not a part of North or Central America. I think that is, or the Caribbean, they're a part of South America. But so Ketara, what is your take on that? And then we will hear from Jose on this matter.
I have no knowledge about the Suriname citizenship situation. I wanted to ask about is it Rudewelt, who is at Crystal Palace, the central midfield, and wondered if overtures had been made and he didn't take it up.
You mean Rudewalt, you mean, right?
Yeah, Rudewalt, the central midfield at Crystal Palace. Yeah. And whether go ahead.
No, I'm not aware of that at all, to be honest. I don't know, but that's a good question because, and like him, there's several more of them out there. Like, but what's his name? Well, he's playing for the Dutch team now. Bergwijn. He plays for I think he was playing for Spurs recently, right? I think he's in the national team too. There's quite a few of them. No, you got to understand what's going to happen now. You see, you have the coaches they have now, Winter and it's like, those are two ex-Ajax coaches. And like I mentioned before, man, that Ajax has the largest farm system in Europe, basically. So a lot of players come out of that system. And also that same system, they took it to Barcelona, the Cruyff system, as we call it. So that's the style of play Suriname will be playing. So the fact that Henk is now joining up with Aaron Winter is even better because both of them understand that Ajax system. which is total football, you see? So it wasn't by accident that he wanted to join up with Winter, because Winter played so many years for Ajax and in the Dutch system. So the fact that you have these big name coaches, I mean, a lot of things are going to start trickling eventually, because there's players who just standing there on the sideline because they know they can't get into the Dutch national team. And they say, hey, why bother, Because you got to understand, most of these young players that were born in the Netherlands, but they still have that Suriname upbringing, surroundings, as you might call it. They still grow up in that Suriname household, so they still feel themselves as though they belong to the country where their parents are from. A lot of them, and as you know, the Hispanics, I mean, when you live in a country like the United States and England, as long as you're in that surroundings where you still eat your local food, and your parents cook the same way, and they raise you the same, and technically your mindset is technically that you're from Suriname, even though you were never born there. And that's what's happening to a lot of these players. It's not like if they're living in the Netherlands and has no connections at all with the country. It's totally the opposite.
So yeah, is there the other question I wanted to ask? Is there any, or what's the level of pushback from those domestic-based players in Suriname to the influx of?
As a matter of fact, you would expect that level of pushback to be very high, but in fact, it's actually low because we're welcoming them. So you might say 10% of the football knowledge of people might say, hey, why don't use some of our local players? But we've tried that before, and it didn't work. You see what I'm saying? So we knew years and years from now we needed to do this. It's just because of the whole political situation and the way the Constitution is written back home that they couldn't do it. Because remember, Suriname was a very top nation when it comes to football back in the days, the 70s, the early 80s. It's not like they were now starting to play. So that level of football was there. It's just that when they became independent, a lot of that knowledge or that expertise moved to the Netherlands. So a lot of people, with the change in the football, terrain right now and what's happening in world football, and Suriname is seeing a country like French Guyana and Guyana next door to them doing this. They say, hey, why can't we get into it? But it's all politics. It's all the Constitution. Whoever the president is at that time, if they're willing to undertake this effort, and that's technically what happened. But it's something they've been looking forward to years and years. But it just happened. Everything takes time. It is a process. But there's not much of a complaints, you might say, from back home that, hey, why are you using all the Dutch-born players? It's not to the level that you would normally expect.
Okay.
Okay.
We have guests who are going to be nice, but you asked about why Suriname.
Ketera, hold on. Because this comment has a word longer, and just hold on 1 sec. I soon get to you. Javan is asking about a player called Somerville. He plays at Leeds. I think he's suggesting that he qualifies to play for Suriname as well. Mm-hmm. Is he a part of the plan?
Yeah, you got to understand, Mannings, a lot of them who they show interest. Is when you show interest, that's good. It's just a matter of them getting the passport. It's just a matter of time. That's and like I said, it's not a drawn out process. There's quite a few of them, a lot of them out there who are just sitting there waiting. Let me tell you this: if this process was in place years ago, when all those Clayford and all those guys were around, I mean, trust me, they would have jumped on it, because for years and years, a lot of the Suriname players, the ones who were born in the Netherlands, they were having difficulty even making an impact into the Dutch national team because all racism and all this. You know what I'm talking about. So a lot of them, if they had another avenue, they would have said, you know what, I'm not playing for the Dutch national team. I'm coming to Suriname, and this would have happened years ago. But it's, like I said, it's all politics. But this is something that's been in the making since 1989, when that plane crashed, where they were trying to evict or start this whole process.
Okay, and you believe that Suriname is getting some of the better quality players? Because sometimes I know there's a feeling like the better quality players would end up playing for Netherlands. Do you believe now that you're competing for some of those, the highest quality ones who have Suriname? Yeah.
You got to understand, the ones that are playing for the Netherlands is you might say the top 5, because even though they're that good to play for the Netherlands, it doesn't mean they'll be selected. That's the issue we're having here. Because history has shown that you could be the best, but still they won't select you. I mean, go through the World Cup, go through all the previous European Championship, you're going to see how many players you see there that looks like me and you, Mannings. You know what I'm saying? It's just that not everyone gets in that team, which is why years ago, Edgar David said he didn't want to be part of it anymore. That's why he left. You know, I mean, it's just obvious what was happening. They didn't. They weren't selecting I would say, quote unquote, the dark skinned players. Let's put it that way. You know, it's always been that way. It's always been that challenge for them to break into the national team, and it's not. You know, like I said, it's not too many of them get through. I mean, you have so many players in the Netherlands. I mean, and only not even 5% of them get represented that were Suriname parents. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's happening.
Yeah. All right, Cataract, you're going to add something to the point you were making, but I just needed to get those two in. So go ahead.
That's no problem at all. Probably it's good that you did. I'm taking your advice since we have guests from our CARICOM neighbor, so that'll be nice. So those of you in the comments, you get to it today. But the rationale for Suriname and French Guyana and British Guyana being in Concacaf, I wonder if you could elaborate on that, because I know they are part of
CARICOM. I'm gonna pass until Cataract finish.
I know they are part of CARICOM politically. But from a footballing standpoint, how were they able to pull off not being in the South American?
Well, it all comes down to history, of course. We know Guyana, Suriname, you know, look at history, they're part of the CARICOM, which is CARICOM nation, okay? When you look at the CARICOM nations, we were all either ex-British colonies or ex-Dutch colonies, as you name it. So that history has been there. You know, we're basically considered a smaller nation as the other Caribbean islands. French Guyana, of course, still belongs to France, so they're not independent.
I think we lost Jose. In the Jose, we lost your volume. Jose. We're not hearing you. I think. All right. So let me see what can. All right. So Piney, go ahead, Piney. We are hearing you. Welcome to the show, Gunner's Boss.
Big up yourself.
Yeah, man. Blessings, man. Yeah, man. Me, Marlon, and Cataract is here now. We just lost Jose. He's going to come back on though.
Cataract, the original sound bass. Can't be to the vibration. Man, big up yourself.
Yes, it can't be to reggae vibration. Where is that sound from?
How would them? Come Google them, you know. I would have seen them, you know.
Man, say Google your sound and you know see your sound. Yeah.
Well, that's it. You see, at the wrong place, you go look to it.
What are they on YouTube? What are they on Instagram? We never see it on a party or no clash or no dance. It look like it's a garage sound, you know. Enough man America have sound of them garage, you know. And them neighbor listen it.
Look for Daddy Rusty, Peter, reggae vibration, run the Northeast, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York when them play there, and Atlantic City.
New Jersey?
Ask anybody, you Peter Black's Daddy Rusty, reggae vibration, big sound. I hear about no Cataract no more. You only Cataract we know you. Yeah, man.
All right. Jose is back. Hold on, Jose. Go ahead. Yeah, we have a caller.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Penny. We hearing you, man.
Where was I not thinking that CC and what was CC doing over here today?
He was talking about Chelsea. CC was just saying that he thinks like Messi would not fit into Chelsea and naming his top 5 team. Yeah.
Okay, all of them come in now and are running Cataract. That we can't take with Jamaican people. Jamaican people, if you have a story 4 years ago, 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, and you come on a platform like this, you can find anyone of the radio, them, whether oral or them other guys, and talk about it, you know. Them tell you say a joke that can't happen and this, that, and the third. And you see, when it happens now, everybody starts call and try to look flowers. So I am out here today hunting flowers as one of the first, maybe the first man who go up on public airway and said Lionel Messi will be playing for Jorge Mas and Ian Beckham
You did, you know. You did say this years ago, you know, for real, you know. Around 2
I was
years
the first
ago.
one.
Yeah.
That's why even when the youth there, you know, we play down there, you know, our Jamaican youth, what name?
Damian Lowe.
Damian Lowe. If you remember when Damian Lowe come on, you know, I was one of the man we are blast them and I said them are rolling, you know. And when Damian Lowe come on, and I was your show him come on, or I was Ryan?
No, it was on Coach Minzy's show.
All right. And when he was on Coach Minzy's show, I went over there and apologized to him, you know, when he said he wasn't asking Lionel Messi. He was just saying to him that familiarizing himself to the listen. I enter me years ago come on there. And I say, yes, I've been telling people that because I've been hearing it from who work at a radio station, who used to do a podcast with Chelsea and do Inter Miami games with on the station in Miami. I didn't hear them talk about it. I didn't say it, but no, I noticed all of a sudden when they look over Facebook and everywhere, everybody have 5,000 posts that talk about it. Looking cloud. I don't have to look no cloud to fight because I have my cloud. I get my information.
But you just said that the reason why you're here today is to get cloud.
Today, no, I'm looking the cloud now because this was a wait to see. And when you wait to see, when you put up something and we say this is a wait to see, now, that means after a period of time we're gonna revisit it, whether it happened or it. We're not gonna just do it. Look at me, Louis, when it happens. Go on to know that if it not happen, we can say, you know, I was wrong on this one, but I got this one so right that it is a beautiful thing. But I want to know why would he turn down the Saudi dollars for the United States dollars?
Yeah, because
I think the United States comes with some
probably for the reason
with some benefits in terms of like Hollywood. That's why David Beckham went there. You know, there's
it's the opportunity to own to start a franchise with less than $1 billion, and within 4 or 5 years it's over $3 billion. Because this income. Let me tell you what happened today. Between yesterday the announcement and today, the Inter Miami
side crash
social media following go from 1 billion to 15, from 1 billion to 15 or something like that billion. Wanna correct me, I don't want to over inflate this thing, I want to say it the way it is, just to show you that Lionel Messi is bringing football. And you see, if MLS adapt Lionel Messi, you know what will happen? America football going to be great in the near future.
America football, you're not talking like NFL though.
We're not talking about NFL. We're talking about MLS football, man. Not soccer. We are talking about.
Okay.
Call it soccer. When we call it soccer, I'm not vexed. I know me. I call it.
No. I'm not vexed. I'm just saying because you said you were making the point and you said that American football.
Then American football, same way. No America. It's going to play the MLS. We could have said MLS, but they said it.
All right.
Sorry, my apologies for misleading you. Not that. Yeah, man. But that me I say.
The family living in Saudi Arabia is not easy, you know. Living in the Middle East is not an easy prospect for family.
Plus, Apple. When you have Apple and Adidas, in work the Apple and in work the Adidas, and they are the two biggest sponsors or partners of the MLS. Broadcast in the game, you know, say Apple have to show everything at him to get him here because they want to get the Apple TV up and get eyes on it. But the beauty, you know what gonna happen with all of this? You're gonna have to, in a few more years from now, you know, maybe before the next 2 years, you know, another way to see all of these championships and these big games, you're going to have to go behind some form of paywall, you know, because man, the CEO, I tell you something. Every time I tell people, say I'm a brother, and them who want vex, the CEO, you're the way ahead of the thing when we are talking about this thing with this streaming service. And I tell you, you know, nobody now listen or radio, you know, because you said it, we can tune in back to this later, and we can find time to do this. I tell you, TV and radio have been dying over the years. Terrestrial media has been dying. This is where we're getting everything. It's audio and digital podcasting, streaming service. That's why the Apples and the Amazon and all these people are killed some little people. And you have to know, you have to have like how where Disney and them, you have to have those kind of streaming service now to make any kind of money because you're not going to get nothing for free TV in a minute, you know. You're not going to be able to watch the NBA finals in a couple of years from now unless you have to go behind some form of subscription service, which is a paywall. If you have to get it, you know.
Yeah.
So you say so Mannings, two things. You say Gunners boss, you say that you are the real sports prophecy. Because I see a man go with the prophecy thing.
No, I mean I call myself no prophet, man.
No, man, he's saying that because
no, I'm talking about the fact that we won't be able to see the NBA finals and those things on free-to-air television or cable station.
It's not prophesying it. I'm not prophesying, I prophesy. But if you're looking at what's going on now, if NFL, football, they're in bed now with Apple and all these other streaming services. So everybody is going to stream it. In order, you have YouTube, TV, and all of these people coming into the game. When them come into the game, you have to subscribe to them, you have to pay a subscription in order to see them, So not kill them at the cable and the radio as well.
Yeah, and even Netflix changing their process. So you have to, they're going to start charging now, so you can share your account with the rest of your family.
Netflix just sent me a thing the other day telling me, say, me have to, let me tell you how serious this is. I cannot stay up here and watch the same channel in my house if my wife use the TV downstairs or vice versa. The two we can watch the NBA game. Unless I have up on a streaming service like Streamy, like last night, me there in the kitchen, so me I watch it from my phone while me I smoke, and she there upstairs, I lay down in her room and I watch the game. I couldn't watch it from the same channel. On the same I have to find a different service to watch it from because once she click the TV, you click out the TV when they have downstairs in my living room.
Gunners boss, listen, we want
Netflix now inform me that I cannot share my subscription anymore unless I have to pay extra amount of money. Like what, $8 or something like that per month in order to share it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But let me set it around because I know some other people want to call. Big up on yourself, fresh God and the whole I know. But remember me telling you this, on a better ready to start doing a subscription thing.
So when me I say Gunners boss,
I need you to talk to the leading bankers, them the people them down in Jamaica and make them know so we need to have a way where we can get money. We know so them can't adapt Zelle or the other one, Cash App, but them need by now you want them say Grace Kenny Money Corporation people them me not even give them no shine over here because them not pay you to advertise them. Them can't set up one little thing where a man can see us and go on his phone and put one $50 in our next month phone like how we could have with the Cash App and them thing. Hold them slow and they behind so.
Yeah, man. But we want to get man. Hold on, go ahead. Marlon wants something to you, Gunners boss. Go ahead, Marlon.
I said that I use Link now, so.
Oh. But Links don't have a lot of uptake. They're finding it difficult. It's not a lot of uptake. Jamaican people love them bank book, the piece of paper.
Yeah. Gunners boss.
But Gunners boss, I also want to say to you, every time you come on the channel, you make a speech. So Mannings man, I'm saying this publicly. Book cataract come make me beat you like a slave in your own yard. In a Philadelphia.
Hold on, all right, cataract. I tell you what. Thanksgiving Day coming up. Where will you be play book for? Because my son have a year-to-year dance at Brooklyn, Every Thanksgiving night, Thanksgiving up here, The biggest thing in Brooklyn, New York, So if you want a book, talk to me. My name's man have my number, I make you a book.
All right, we work on this.
Booking. Yeah. Be it like 12 years of slave.
Yeah, we leave that.
All right, then.
Yeah,
man, and great show. I'm listening.
Yeah, man.
Big up on yourself, everybody. I'm running on because of the people. And I'm why you
Yeah, man. All right, yeah, man. And then we have Jose back with us. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
we're talking. Go ahead. Yeah, man. We know we lost you and then we came back and then we took the call. Right. So we're talking about. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I guess the question was why Suriname plays in the Concacaf versus
right, and we're talking about the difference with how welcoming they have and the changing dynamics. Yeah, right, all of those stuff. Yeah.
Well, I was doing some reading here. Well, you notice Suriname was actually in 1996 was one of the founding members of the Concacaf. I don't know if you know that or not. So the fact that they're
one of the founding members of
Concacaf. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So it will make sense that they just can't move over to to the South American nation because, for one, they're the founding member, and two, there is no professional level of football in Suriname. Everything is amateur. So hence the reason why I guess they figure they cannot compete with guys from the rest of South America because they're amateurs. They don't get paid.
Hold on 1 sec, Jose. Caller.
Man, me have to call you back. I want to say something, but it's all right. You talk to us there. When you finish right about a minute before the show, then I want to tell you something. I just go back on YouTube and I just see something. I'll tell you something when Jose finished.
You could have text us. You could have just sent a text message, man. Come on. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Suriname is one of the founding members of the Concacaf. So because you remember back in those days, Suriname used to play a lot of football. They had a lot of players who they exported eventually after the independence in 1975 to the Netherlands. I think I forgot his name, but players like Wiener Schaal, just to name some of those old players who at that time migrated to the Netherlands, which is why we have that huge influx taking place these days. Also, Suriname, it's when you look at it geographically and necessarily the history of Suriname and Guyana, French Guyana, they were part of the whole, like you said, the Netherlands and the British and that whole system with the old Caribbean. So basically, we all share the same history, the same cultural, as you can say, the same cultural background, as you can say. We play all amateur football. Nobody plays professional down there. So basically, it would make sense for all to fit into that part of the football spectrum. Now, as you can see, the South American, the Cotton Bowl, which is the Brazil and everyone else, those are all professionals. So it would make more sense to go down and play the CONCACAF level versus playing the Brazils and Argentina because those are professionals. They get paid, of course. And you as a small nation, of course, you don't want to be, end up losing a game 15-0 and 20-0. That doesn't make sense. It won't do good for the football in the country itself. You see what I'm saying? So hence the reason why they never really try to migrate, to that division or that zone, you might call it, because it's a professional zone where people get paid. That being said, though, going forward, I don't know if they will be able to transition there now that again, they're using professional players from the Netherlands, but they're not really using players from Suriname because they're amateurs still. There's no professional system in Suriname when it comes to football. So for those players to become professional, they would have to leave the country, you see? Because the guy just plays football once or twice a week and, you got to go back to work the next morning, you see? So it wouldn't apply. So, that's basically where it stands when it comes to why is it that Suriname is not in the rest of South America. It's all because they were one of the founding members of the CONCACAF, and for them to leave, it basically is saying all the CONCACAF nations will leave and go to the rest of South America, which wouldn't make sense. You see?
Okay.
Also, we know that Suriname and Curacao has a heavy influx of Dutch-born players.
Yes.
I think Suriname now is probably sketching up with Curacao. Curacao was already there, established himself as a football nation before. They were way ahead of Suriname, but I think over the past 2 years, I think Suriname has gotten very, very close and probably could be on par with them right now. If you check the valuation of both squads, Suriname players, they value way more. And the thing about the Suriname, what I like what Aaron Winter has done, he is getting a lot of young players. When the last time when they came to the World Cup, they had the average age of the team was almost 30. Now it's around 27.
Yeah, it's dropping.
It's dropping. So you see the players are coming 22, 23, 24. Right? Landwick and these guys still out there, Botios and Miss John and these guys out there still out there. So it's
the thing about go ahead, Qatar, go ahead.
If we look, there are teams that we have to I think persons the Mexican coast side, Panka said it said they're a ball playing team and people need to start taking them serious when although they won the game 2-0, he said that they're playing football, so persons need to start pay attention to them and start to pay attention to the Caribbean teams more because the Caribbean teams are catching up with everybody.
Yeah, that's true. You see, well, Curacao, remember, Curacao is not independent. They still belongs to the Dutch, to the Netherlands. So So that connections or band will still be there, but also you have players who has both Surinamese and like you said, Curacao parents, like the players. Like for instance, Patrick Kluivert, that's a good example.
Your former coach, the former coach, son's plays for Curacao, and he's coaching.
Yeah, Patrick Kluivert is I think his mother is from Suriname, his dad is from Curacao, so he's a prime example. So he went back home and he was coaching the Curacao team, and even Aruba. The other day, the coach that we had just before winter came on board, Stanley Menso, who was born in Suriname, who played for Ajax all those years. He was coaching Aruba, then he came to Suriname recently, you see? So if you look at it, that whole, what's happening basically is that you have all these ex-players, ex-professionals, people with ties to these regions, they're coming back to coach at home, because they know for a fact that their parents' generation remember when Suriname and Curacao used to be big nations when it comes to football. So they're basically trying to bring that atmosphere back to Suriname and to Curacao, now the little islands, because, and that's the thing when it comes to, the Netherlands and when it comes to colonization is that, people leave and not because they want to leave. You know this, in Jamaica, the same thing. But it's just that they're looking for better opportunity. And when that opportunity, they already, get that opportunity, figure out, we got to come back home and share some of that back home. We bring it back. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they're going to come back eventually. And that's what's happening right now. So the gap is closing, as you said. You saw the Mexico game. Yes, some people say, yeah, it wasn't the A squad of Mexico. But let me tell you something. Every time you put on a Mexico shirt, you're Mexico. It doesn't matter who it is, Because when they win or you lose, they're going to say Mexico beat you. You see what I'm saying? So the gap is closing. And like I told you, I mentioned to you, man, the Concacaf is changing every day. It's changing. And Suriname, I think, has most of the players sitting out there who wants to come back. Curacao, yeah, but Suriname has quite a few.
Okay, and I mean, so what do they believe they can win the Gold Cup? How far have they ever gone in the Gold Cup?
I've been to the last Gold Cup when they played in Orlando here, and they weren't that far off, Pennings, man. I mean, a couple of silly mistakes, yes, they get scored upon, but the overall game of the players, the first, like you see when they played the Mexico game the other day, the first half, they were dominating Mexico. I mean, that never happened. You see what I'm saying? Even though, like I said, Mexico is Mexico. They didn't play bad in the Gold Cup. They won one game, and I think they lost 2-0 to Jamaica, I believe. But it wasn't something where, in all those games, it wasn't something where
Jose,
they were overpowered.
don't believe Jose. We dealt with you in Orlando.
All right.
Yeah, but it wasn't a situation where you were dominating.
So let me
That's
help
what I'm
you,
trying
right?
to say.
Let me help you. Whenever you're on the panel and you see Cataract and it comes on to Jamaica, yeah.
No. Let's be honest. I was there in the stadium. Let's be honest. I was there on the ground.
I was there too.
It wasn't a
I don't have.
situation.
No, the difference is I don't have PTSD.
Listen to me. No. Listen to me. It wasn't. They played the Gold Cup, but it wasn't a situation where all those teams dominated them. That's what I'm trying to say. Jamaica win, yeah. Okay,
No,
but it wasn't a domination.
You don't get an extra point for dominating, You just get 3 points to beat
No. You got the 3 points, yeah, I know. But it wasn't a dominating.
I say he's not going to stop. Just continue talking.
No. I understand. We got to be fair. We got to be honest here. I play football. I watch football for years. You can know when a team is dominating.
All I'm saying to you, when it comes down to Cataract and Jamaica, honesty goes through the window. Right? So I'm just telling you.
Okay. Man is man. But the only time I'll even listen to Rob Smith. Shamar Nicholson was wasteful on that day, including a couple of balls that went up into Rose End. So with a striker with his compass, you would have gotten what Trinidad deserved to get.
Oh my!
I don't have anything against Suriname. Suriname is not a rival to Jamaica.
No, there's not that. But that's what I'm saying. They're not right now. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's what I told you. This management. I said this before. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, down the line, eventually they're gonna, it's gonna be a problem. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's gonna be a problem.
I mean, what is the league like? Because what is the league like in Suriname? Do you have a good local league, domestic?
Oh
league?
yeah. They do. They have They have like how you have the Premier League, the top league. I think there's
Yeah.
10 teams in there, 10 clubs, and then you have a lot of local leagues below that. Really good. They play the promotion relegation system too for the entire country. They do have that.
Okay. But
One
your
of the
generation of players right now, you're not your domestic players are finding it harder to get into the first team.
yes, of course. And then what's happening is that if you're that good, what they tend to do, they tend to move them overseas. You know, the one player, Flated, he was playing locally, but then they say, you know what, he's that good that they had to send him to some overseas, club. So the few that are pretty good, they move them out, basically. But they do have a domestic league.
Which is, yeah. No, man, go ahead.
They do have a domestic league, and also they have a couple of teams that were previously CONCACAF champions. And if you remember teams like Robin Hood and Transvaal, Leo Victor, those are teams who in the past has won the Caribbean Cups. Transvaal.
Okay.
If you remember a name, Andre Kamperveen, he's well known. He was the president of when the CONCACAF started, he was the president.
Oh. I think we'll associate it. You know what I want to ask Marlon, because this is where I think
you need to learn to spell Aussie before you chat. Was Suriname the country where your representative, a president or somebody, played in the Concacaf Champions League?
Yes, that's with one of the vice president. He has a club named Inter Mungo Tapu. No, that wasn't. No, he. That guy is.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to get into. I don't want to get into politics, but no.
So when you put all this thing, I have the facts, sir.
Listen. You have to know. You have to know the history of him. I'm not gonna even talk about him. He's the vice president. I don't want somebody to come and find me. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah, so let's leave that alone.
I'm not getting into politics.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing.
Because what I want to raise Marlon and maybe Keter, I think the dynamics of Suriname is completely different from Jamaica. I'm going to tell you why. I can see a good domestic Surinamese player moving from Suriname to play in the Netherlands. I don't see that happening in Jamaica. Like that pathway, there is a pathway, it appears, for the domestic players in Suriname to move into academies and clubs in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Like, it's almost like that is their next step. If you're good. If you're 17 and you're good, that is your next step. I don't think we have...
The reason is that our colonial
history is different, yeah.
No. England, it would be the place to go, but England has a lot of restrictions on the work permit. That places like Holland or France don't have. That's why you will find players from French Guyana playing their trade in the French leagues. You'll find players from Aruba, Suriname playing their trade in the Dutch league.
Even with that, Cataract. Here's what I'm saying. Angola and all of those places. What I'm saying, I think this is where and we don't want to get into, but let me let you finish it. Sorry.
I'm saying when we were in the top 50, and we spoke earlier about players like Whitmore, Walter Boyd, Ian Goodison, we had players making the transition to England.
No, you're missing my point though, Cataract. You're making a different point. That's why I needed to stop you.
Okay.
Let me make my point.
Used to be the top 70 teams in FIFA. So they brought it down to the top 50, right? And you still have to have a 70% appearance over the past two. Even harder now.
Cataract, you know that none of those restrictions apply for like the French colonies or the former French colonies.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
No. So listen my point. I don't think that has to do with the level of football that is being played. That I think is an English thing to disenfranchise or to prevent the same kind of process. I think given the kind of wealth that they got out of a Caribbean nation like Jamaica, even if they have that as a rule, there should be special provision. For Jamaica, they still have a governor general, a representative of the Queen in Jamaica.
but
operating. And there's
then
no benefit to that.
so I don't have a problem with what you're saying, Mannings. I wonder whether those negotiations or overtures were made. But I think we did have a better relationship with England
When?
under the Captain Horace Burrell
No,
years.
no. Let's go back from Alan Skillcole's time. Let's go back.
Hold on now. I'm saying to you, we have played against England at Manchester United. We after that initial set of players, we have never really had difficulty with players getting released by the release from the FA, the English FA. What I think is different, what I think England has a sort of protectionism over the English game, where they believe that not sufficient English-born players or players eligible to represent England were showing up in the first teams of the Premier League clubs. But I agree with you that when Prince Charles did come here, because he at the time was the head of the FA before he became king, and now one of his sons, I think, is the titular head of the FA. These are negotiations that we could seek to have to see whether they could be a special dispensation for Jamaica.
Well, let me hear Marlon, because I think you and I are making two different points.
Okay.
But go ahead, Marlon.
Well, Marlins, I think at the same time I said the quality of players back then and compared to now is totally different, right? When you have Jason Morrison, we'll have Austin and Demar Phillips, all of them went and got those two got signed to Stoke, and Austin
From
went.
Where?
Huh?
Think they never got signed.
They got signed to Stoke and they went out on loan from Stoke City to Belgium, and then they left Belgium because they had to do 3 years when Jason Morrison left.
Yeah.
Village and come to Portmore when I was there. You have to go to Europe, spend 3 years in Europe, so you could apply for a European visa, European passport. So remember,
yeah, man, that is true. But let me make my point. So Tariq Magee is 17. If Tariq Magee were in Suriname and playing in the league like how he was, I think an academy in the Netherlands would have taken him. If he were like that, some in Angola or one of those former French colony, or in one of those places
Angola
that were colonized.
Angola is a Portuguese colony.
Or Portuguese, one of the French ones, whichever one. I'm like,
Cameroon.
Let's use Cameroon. Yeah. All right. That is what. See, what would happen? I think they look to help those associations and federations and make a pathway for them. What I am saying is that with our players, it is not on a favor. It's not like because you were once colonized by you, let's create a pathway. No, it is that Jason Morrison, Rudolph Austin, and Phillips, these guys were quality, and other clubs would have wanted them. So that is my point, is that even when they go back to our cricketers, the cricketers, it was because they were better. I think what I would love to see is like the same thing that happens. The Ajax people, the fine art people, they are looking into Suriname and Curacao for 15 and 16-year-olds to bring into, just because they know we colonize these countries. I
think it's because they know they can get talent there that is at a sufficient level that they can coach up to become professionals.
I disagree. And so you're saying that there are no 13-year-old in Jamaica that is talent, that is talent, because at that time
I don't know all the 13-year-olds in Jamaica. So
yeah, so if it is, let's use your argument.
Let me give you an example.
Let me use your argument. So what talent would they be seeing in Suriname that what talent the Dutch could be seen in Suriname that they can't see in Jamaica at 13 to 16. Because that's the age group I'm talking about.
You would have to ask the director of football at Ajax what it is that they're seeing. But the point I was making to you is that, all right, let's look at a classic example. We say Dujon Richard is a wonder kid. And as you mentioned, Whisper, people just go crazy. We don't, the same Chelsea, I am reading, has just signed a 16-year-old from Ecuador for 17 million.
You're missing the point I'm making.
Hold on, I'm saying now. For 17 million pounds.
You're missing the point I'm making, though, Ketter.
Well,
You're still missing my point. If Whisper were in Suriname,
he would have been taken up by Ajax or Feyenoord.
They would have, because he has talent, they would take him and develop him, right? And then they can sell him.
Yes.
That's what they do to the nations that they once governed. I am saying I don't see the English doing that for any of the nation that they governed or they're still governing. That's what I am saying.
Well, Bermuda has a number of players between the Premier League and Championship.
So you're saying that the English? Okay.
No.
All
But
right.
I'm saying to you, that's because they're still under the crown.
Yeah, I was about to say that. They still have the English flag down there.
Yes, so they're under the crown. But if you're saying that we are truly independent, then the basis is, and the question is, does the level that we say is talented is the same level that the clubs in England measure?
All right, I'm going to answer that, but we have a call online. Let me just take the caller. Caller, welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, man, and good afternoon to the panel, and good afternoon to the wider diaspora.
What is Boris Johnson?
Yeah, Coach Boris.
Hey,
Yeah.
Boris, how you doing?
I like it. Good. I like the discussion, and I'm glad the type of this. It's not to say that Europe or these clubs in Europe doesn't scout outside of Jamaica, but understand what happened. I mean, back in the days, the platform was set. The problem, I think, of much of the platform. I can't go way back to the Andy Williams and the Donald Stewart. I mean, these guys were scouted. I mean, Andy was scouted at a young age to go to Napoli initially, but understand where we sit management and how we view education. I mean, Andy did not went to Napoli because his parents chose education instead of football. I mean, in today's day now, it's a little bit different, where we see Whisper going off straight into a Chelsea situation. But I just want to add the 2 cents. The talent is there. I mean, I even the ISA to transition into colleges, and there's not much platform that is there to invite these coaches to say, look.
Coach Boris.
Because I don't think we have much at that situation platform anymore, and I think it's something that's trifling. I think the last of it we had was.
You break, Coach Boris. You're going to have to call back. Coach Boris, we're not hearing you clearly, and I know you're making a very good point. So see if you can call back, because you're breaking up. And we're hearing you in bits and pieces, yeah. So let me say it again, right? Let me say it again. And if people, you see, if the man agree with me, you know, Samir. From you see the man agree with me, you know something right, because most time the man will beat me on the platform. You understand? But my point is this: talent is everywhere. When I believe the Spanish are working with the Dammer, they took like players like Danny Ceballos, very, very young, bring him into Spain. Now he ends up playing for Spain, you know. Right? So what they do, I think the Netherlands are very good at this. They go into these territories, and the French are very good at it. The Spaniards do it too. I believe that what about players being transferred, I'm not talking about that. What I am saying is that, do Jamaican kids have a pathway when they can play where English FA, because of the past history, come and bring them into England for development? Some of them may end up in the Chelsea's, Manchester, that don't matter. But they can come back and represent Jamaica. Just like what we see happening with Curacao. And that's what I'm saying, you know.
The difference, you know, the difference is this, and all right, also I can't correct me if I'm wrong. I know that the Dutch teams, right? They do scout in Curacao, Aruba, and for the young talents and stuff. So as a young player is identify the money, that's a small time they get taken out of the country, and by the time you go and you want them to represent you, they're already being caught in the Dutch under 17. I see that
that's true.
Yeah. That is the one risk we'd have. That some of these players end up playing for England.
The kid was in Martinique. I remember I met him, was 2018, and I think was when the under 17 tournament was going on, and I think he went to, I don't remember if it was Monaco he went to, and when they called him for to play in the Concacaf under 17 tournament, he was a part of the French under 17 already, right? Because they are basically French same way, so you don't need no naturalization or anything. Basically, he was in French.
I don't think any the French Caribbean. I think nations. I think they're all still. They're not independent. They still belong to France. They're not independent.
French.
What's his name? And we know very well. Like for instance, Thierry Henry. You know, he's from one of the French Caribbean. Islands too. So there's quite a few. That is just. I guess the French were smarter. They didn't give them all independence.
So for now, Guadeloupe, they were trying to get Anthony Marshall, I think his cousin, born there, and I think he's at Rennes in France. They were trying to get him to play for them, and the club didn't want to release him. So that's what they do. But the difference with us now, we don't have any team scouts coming from England to come and scout our players. So the Dutch colonies and the French colonies, they have that advantage. So as what I said, most of the players, they don't end up playing for the country.
Yeah. We have DJ Dean Brown from Outer, Port St. Lucie, in the building.
Greetings and blessings, each and every one. Sound Cataract, you need some bookings. Cataract. You're too busy on this every day.
Cataract.
I'm going to play dance in the daytime, brother.
Cataract, a big DJ, Cataract.
We not hear about no dance. We want support you to Cataract in a night event, you know. We not hear talk about no booking. So
a joke, yeah, man.
Just make something. Nonetheless, you have brought up a very sensitive topic with the colonization.
Yeah, DJ, you have the background noise. It's because I want to. Sorry. Yeah. So the topic that you just brought up is a very sensitive topic, and it's spread wider than the sports, wider than the soccer. You can tell that the Dutch, the French, any country that they colonize or associated with them, they take care of those countries. The British does not do anything whatsoever for any one of the countries that they formerly colonized. I am not sure why there is still a Governor General that the citizens of Jamaica is still paying and not the British. What is the purpose of this person's there still? There's no benefit. You don't see any of the clubs from England, whether it's a Premier League club or a Champions League club, or not Champions League, but Championship club, or any one of the clubs coming down, scouting, or even having any clinics or anything like that. There's no benefit. So for us to be asking,
British is not going to get anywhere. The Dutch, the French, they will do that to benefit those other countries. Yes, there's some benefits for the clubs as well. Yeah, but individually, those players will get benefit and are looking by those countries, not the British.
Yeah, which is the point I'm making. You understand?
Well, I have to disagree with you.
Huh?
I have to disagree with you. They may look after their, I think we're missing something. They may look after the countries that are departments of France. But look at Haiti. What benefit and taking care of France take care of Haiti?
What?
But you gotta remember.
Built with all this. Hold on, Cataract.
Haiti is independent.
What's the name of the facility? Hold on. Haiti is independent, but let me give you this. What's the name of the facility in Haiti? I'm going to beat you on this, Cataract. Don't want you lose. That was built by the French government, Bossy. And for the first year it was run Cataract. They provided everything for it. Cataract. Here's what. They also take a lot of Haitian players. Many of the Haitian players develop in France. They take them from Haiti and bring them there. And when you use them as well, you must understand that that was a bloody conflict between Haiti and France.
Okay.
So it's a different thing.
To sound Louverture.
Yeah, that's a different thing. That's a different thing, Catara.
No, what I'm saying is
a different thing. You can't tell. There's just one country. But the British has never built a training facility for Jamaica.
We can't disagree that England has not righted the wrongs of the slave trade, either in reparations or in debt forgiveness or any one of those things. So football is only one aspect of where the thing is skewed. What happened in France was when they abolished the slavery, they sent money to France to pay a compensation to the French slave plantation owners. They are the people who got the millions of francs.
But Cataract, remember in Jamaica. Anyways, we will move from this now because in Jamaica, remember, DJ bro, make a last point. Hold on, Cataract, because we are getting some feedback and stuff.
No, man, I'm gonna jump off, man. I'm gonna continue listening. But you're doing a good job, man, and I'm very proud to see that the competition along Curacao and the other smaller countries are stepping up. And we as Jamaicans need to be stepping up as well with the talent pool that we have. And I'm excited that we have a few that have joined in. But let's see how much support we're gonna get from the others coming in. And I'm looking forward to what Coach Halgrimson will have to deal with for his first tournament. For Jamaica, so good things to look forward to.
Yeah, man. And people check out Live 11 Radio if you want to get some good gospel mixes. DJ
tomorrow,
Brown, man on a
Island Friday.
Island Friday, we don't play around. You don't know. Big mighty soul.
We run every town. Cataract get some booking if you come support you.
We don't play with the speaker squeak like the Cataract sound.
Oh, Lord of mercy. They're in Port St. Lucie, for a long time. Cataract was the resident at Caribbean Choice and North Military Trail. And every Sunday at in Lake Worth. At those Sundays. So,
Cataract, I don't know if you're aware how the history worked. Remember, when the English came, the land belonged to the people. They took the land. All right, they enslaved the people. When they were leaving, the people had to use money to buy back the land from them, from the plantation owners in Cataract. A man come and take you to your house, Cataract. Then somebody tell him, say, you need to leave Cataract house. And him say, all right, me go leave it. And then for you to go back in your house in Cataract, you have to pay back the man over time, for the house where you did own from before, At that time, Cataract.
But we're not disagreeing that there were atrocities, economic atrocities, human atrocities. That can't be in debate.
Okay.
Right? But what I'm saying is, and I am not saying that England, but I'm saying like football is a microscope of the overall thing. Right? No, what it is that we would expect England to do for Jamaica. To say, okay, look here, England freed up visa restrictions for, I think, 11 countries. Canada just did it for 13 countries, 5 of which were in the Caribbean. England did it. You don't require a visa if you have a Guyanese passport to travel to England, right? But Jamaica still remains on the visa regime. So those are not questions that are in doubt. What I'm saying is that because of the restrictive work permit rules, it makes a pathway into England difficult for players from the English former colonies, as opposed to the rules not existing in Spain, Portugal, France, and Netherlands.
Hold on, not to cut you off. So Suriname, basically, you don't need a visa to get to from Suriname to the Netherlands. All you need is an invitation showing that you have family members there, so they can invite you, so that they basically will stand in for you. Basically, what that means is that if something goes wrong where you don't want to leave the country or you're hiding, they will come they'll come to you instead of the person traveling. So basically, you don't need a visa to get to the Netherlands from Suriname. You need to show strong ties to the country, of course, to Suriname, but at the same time, somebody have to send you an invitation letter where they will say, yes, is your family member and they're going to stay by me and this is it and this is it. But you don't need a visa. Now, of course, they can always deny it too, because if you have a criminal record back in Suriname, of course, you're not going to get over there. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be in strong moral standing. Let's put it that way, and but you don't need a visa.
And I mean, so like a player, right? When a player, a club can just come there and say, hey, you need to come over, and the player can just, parent, he can go.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's okay. Okay. Do they do work in apart from the coaches coming over? Are the Dutch involved in Surinamese football at any level?
Not the Dutch.
Go ahead.
Not the Dutch. Basically, what's happening is that, of course, as you know, the FIFA and the Concacaf, that's where the money is coming from, really. But the Dutch don't get involved now. You might say yes. At what level do they get involved? I guess the level is that, like you mentioned before, if you have a talent that is 10, 11 years old that they can see, of course they want to take that for themselves. They'll give them a nationality right away. But they don't really get involved in the Suriname football organization. The body is strictly independent. But like I said, most of the coaches, like I said, coming back to Suriname, they have Surinamese ties. That's the issue. You won't see, as far as I can remember, I haven't seen an actual Dutch coach born and raised in the Netherlands come over to coach Suriname. What has been happening is that these are coaches who has ties to the country, through their parents or maybe they were born there.
I think it is in Guadeloupe now. The top league, the top team in Guadeloupe plays in the knockout competition in France. It's like we have the FA Cup. The top team in the Guadeloupe league plays in the early stages. So if you in the early stages of the knockout, so you could be drawn. You could be playing in Guadeloupe and be drawn against like a League 2 team and stuff like that. Which is what I'm saying. That kind of partnership, I think, benefits the football in those smaller territories. But like I said, they're not an independent nation, so maybe it's unfair to compare them to Jamaica that is independent. But we have Coach Boris back online as well. Coach Boris, Jose is here now and he's yelling here. You remember Jose?
Last weekend.
Yeah, Jose. Good afternoon, Jose.
Yeah,
the man on the VO cameras, the physio and the VO man.
Yeah. I mean, he was at the session.
Yes, that was me.
Yeah, it was at the session of the weekend. But what I was saying, man, I was saying, you were basically spot on and based on what you were saying. But I think what affect Jamaica was that we had gained independence at an early age. I mean, when you look at what happened with players like Johnny Bond and those other guys, I mean, they went over to England into the English system and was developed, but they were not sent back to represent Jamaica.
Which is the concern I have.
I think when you look at it going forward, I think if England should look at us really as how they should look at us, I mean, then they genuinely would come over and help the football. But I don't think the spin-off will be for us. I think all the players they develop would basically represent England as to what happened in the past. And as for the scouting, as you were saying, I must say the talent is there at a young age. But I think one of the major situations is how we see education as a nation. I mean, I remember way back in the days, I mean, Andy Williams was scouted at a young age to go to Napoli, but his parents had turned it down and say, you know what, try and focus on school. I mean, we see nowhere where the situation is changed, where we have a whisper leaving high school going straight into a Chelsea. So, but I think the talent is there, but what happened, I think there's not enough platform inside of Jamaica for us to say, for scouts over the world to say, you know what, let's come and scout. I mean, why would I leave Holland, where there are plenty of youth tournaments, to fly all the way to Jamaica to just watch one U13 league to scout a player? Why would I leave England, where there's many of youth tournaments, or even as close as the United States? So I think that's the big gap that we have. We're not having enough in terms of youth football platform that youth scouts can come over. But their option is to go to Norway, go to Sweden, and our worst extent, they go to the United States. So I think that's something that we need to fix. I mean, even from a college level, when you look at it, I don't think we have enough college showcases for all players that's trying to get into college in the United States compared to the kids you're talking about at U13 level.
But Coach Barris, I think you were at Waterhouse at that time. I remember you were coaching Waterhouse at that time. We used to have scores come down from Rapids and Houston Dynamo. Oh man, when you were coaching Waterhouse.
When I was at Waterhouse, there was a lot of interest, because what happened, not to take the credit, but the football level has rises, and a lot of people see the need in terms of there were a lot of interest in players. But understand, these were senior players, not youth players to an extent.
I'm talking about senior players. If you look at it now, but then you saw players.
Coach Barris, hold on. Let you make the point, because you don't ask the question yet. So just hold on. Go ahead, Marlon.
I think we are getting more. The league has risen, but the quality hasn't risen with the league. I think the league is more organized now, but I think the quality has dropped off. When you had Jermaine Taylor and all these guys playing the league, Hakan, everybody was playing, Sporting Central was there, right? You have these players left, went to the MLS, established themselves there. No, I cannot look in the league now and say I see an MLS quality player who can walk into an MLS team right now. So I think we are dropping off of quality. It's more organized now, but the quality of the play.
I must say you're right. You're right, because I've been back on the island and I have
but there's a next point to that, doing Coach Barris and Marlon, is that unlike
that's what I want to explain.
So
I want to explain.
All right, go ahead.
Understand what used to happen in the past, Marlon. In the past, one, these players used to play more. Two, they used to play at a higher intensity. So it was easier for them to make the transition in terms of going off, plus the level of play that they were at. Now, I mean, I've been on the island since I've been in the States. I've been back and I've run training sessions with Premier League clubs. Now, not to say the level that they are is bad. They're at a good level in terms of playing. But when you look at the intensity that they want to train, when you look at how they go about training, and all the other factors that come in with being a professional player, then this is where the situation is. I mean, let's look at one simple example. If you should watch the players arriving for a game, and this is Premier League, when you look at the dress code and how some of them are dressed and how some of them are groomed, just to appearance, it will say a lot. But I mean, I don't understand how much of this.
Coach Barris, let me just say a couple of things. Number one, Yes, when you talk about players grooming and attire coming to game, it is way better than in your time of playing. When I see Dumbo,
No, I wouldn't say
listen,
so.
but
Players
Coach
used to wear
Coach Barris. No,
in my time, players used to wear suit to the game.
Coach Barris, in your time, me then Coach Barris, me travel around the teams, me travel with teams to Premier League game. Coach Barris, right now I'm telling you, when you see Mount Pleasant traveling, when you see Harbour View traveling, they all have on the same top, the same shot, the Harbour View stuff.
Yeah, but
I'm giving it the names. Cavalier. No, I'm going to give you all. Coach Barris, just listen, man. Dumby Holland is the same thing. Waterhouse is the same thing. Arnett is the same thing. Tivoli is the same thing. All of them are sponsored for those things. All the teams in the Premier League, I'm telling you, they are properly attired. Now when a man done play him game now and him a go home, how him dress? I see players. What Mr. Russell Westbrook wear skirt going home. Mr. Russell Westbrook in a skirt. I see LeBron James and Dwayne Wade in a dress. That is not more appropriate than I used to have him shorts down.
No, but I'm saying then we have that part of it fixed then. If that's the case. So let's look at the other factors, you see.
Yeah. So let me give you the other part now. Let me give you the other factor now. No. In your time, everyone stayed in the league. Well, I would say all the best players coming out of schoolboy football stayed in the league. Norman Manley, the Norman Manley team that was Waterhouse, every single player from that Norman Manley team stayed in the league. The Charlie Smith 95 team, every player stayed in the league. What we find now is that when the league is finished, of the 30 top players, 20 of them leave. Some to college. Some gone into some small clubs in Europe. So that means that the quality of the league in terms of the overall talent is not going to be there. But if all the players, for example, if Cephas stayed, Paris stayed, Campbell stayed, the two Campbells, who again, all the players who left, those who are in, Pearson, if all of these guys were left, Jordan Fletcher, if all of them stayed and played several seasons in the league, you're possible to see better quality if all of them Lamar stayed. What happened is that if Boza stayed and waited, maybe the league quality would be better, and then bam, they could go into MLS. But what happened now? Maggie left early, Shamar left, Kaim Paris left, Norman Campbell left. All of these guys are leaving, and then you have a next set of them now that leave for college.
As you say, man is man. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the standard of the league. You see, I'm not knocking the standard.
Yeah, man, we know, man.
There's different options now, and it's a different time for these players. You see, but all I'm saying is that when you look at the difference is when you look at where the generation of my set of players transitioned from into different leagues. I mean, most of these guys' management wasn't even a 2-week or a 3-week trial. You see, they could go in on a 1-week trial and then they're signed, and they're ending up in most of the stronger leagues around the world. You see, which now there's more opportunity because I mean now a kid can leave school, get into a Division 1 into Norway, get into a Division 1 into Sweden, get into a Division 1 into Israel, and get into a Division 1 into Iceland, which is good. So I'm not really here knocking the league. The situation that I see, and it's one of the factors, is just the intensity that's coming from the training ground that's spilling over into the game, the actual game itself.
Coach Barris, let me ask you a question. I'm going to give you ask you a question. You know Kevin Keller Wilson?
Yeah.
Was he a big baller in high school?
He was a pretty decent player at the time of Charlie Smith.
And Bonesy, right? You'd say that and Kingston.
Yeah, they level up play. Understand management. The difference in those days, and this is where the coaches have to take responsibility.
Yeah.
The difference, I think, in that era of players was what you call early interjection into the top league. I mean, if I remember the last time a 14-year-old played Premier League, it was probably Alan Skillful.
No, man. I mean, you know watch Cavaliers, man. Up to what's his name? Dunstan Cohen played Premier League for Favre, man. You know watch the league, man.
Which is good. But
then
what I'm saying,
Adrian Reed at Cavaliers was played from last season.
Which I agree, management. But when you look, the problem is, I'm looking at the percentage. I mean, Cavaliers will only give you probably 10 or 5%. You see, when we used to play, the percentage was higher.
I'm saying though, Coach Barris, but I am going back to your time. All right, how many players from your Excelsior school transitioned overseas? From your Excelsior team?
In terms of college or professional?
And either way.
I mean, a couple of guys went off to school, including myself. Walter transitioned into professional.
No, Walter did not transition into professional overseas after Excelsior.
I mean, it was basically after Excelsior because he was a part of the Shell Cup team, the senior program at the time. Understand?
Yeah, but which club? No, man. No. All right. So we're not talking about playing for Jamaica. I'm talking about transitioning to an overseas club.
Oh, straight from school?
Yeah.
We didn't.
All right.
We didn't have much. I think.
Do you know now? Do you know that in the last 10 years we have produced more players who have left from high school straight into clubs?
Yeah, I know that because understand what happened in terms of the whole development and understanding of the game.
Yeah.
See, that's why I said I'm not. That's why I'm saying I'm not really not in the league.
Hey, Barris, the man said, hold on, the coach Barris, yo, you need to come on the show, you know, because the man said, I host they want to hear from, because they want to hear the secrets of Suriname, you know. Barris, we try calling the other day to come on the show, you know, so we need to call you on the show because you and Battle need. So tomorrow, we're going to have you and Battle on the show to talk about last weekend.
Okay, we'll be good. I mean, last time I was trying, but I'm at camp now. Plus, we're preparing a couple of teams to go to the MLS playoff.
Yeah, man, and you did very well, man. I love the work that I saw you working with the guys. You did a very good job, man.
Yeah, I mean, we really enjoyed. I mean, it was a good time in terms of us as past players, and then it was a good time in terms of working with kids. And it's something that we look forward to do. I mean, wherever it takes us, I mean, we are willing to take up the bag and the Bible and go.
Yeah. All right, and Tennessee I beat you, you know. Tennessee, a brother in the chat named Tennessee Lewis said that a Cayman Islands you go play, you know.
No, I understand. I migrated to Cayman because of family, so I just stay there for a while and chill out.
All right, best of Coach Barris tomorrow.
Yeah, all right, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
What? Just give me a thumbs up in terms of what time you'll be on because, as I said, I mean, we pretty much wrapped up tomorrow.
Yeah, man, definitely. I'll call you afterwards. Cause yeah.
Okay, so we can get the time. And good day and all the best to the panel and yourself.
Yeah, man.
All right, Coach Boris.
Yeah, all right, people. So also we need some more Suriname secrets, you know, so we can know how to. Cause they're going to end up. I feel like the people them always have put Suriname in a Jamaica group. I don't know why.
Yeah, for some reason.
The last Gold Cup, Nations League, and now the Gold Cup again.
Mm-hmm. So what? They're the same group again?
Nation League, for Nation League.
Nation League.
Nation League, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to come in. If they come through, they're going to be in Jamaica's group again.
Oh, no, Curacao.
It's Curacao, yeah. It's Curacao. It's Curacao this time. Yeah, I don't think Suriname want to see us again. That's right now. But we have 10 minutes to go, so I'm going to give each of you, some time to say, to pick any of these things and say your last words. Marlon, you want to go first?
Yeah, man. I'm saying still, it's really good for Caribbean football to see all the teams are really building, right? It's not like before you had when the Central America team used to catch the Caribbean teams, you know, it's 6 or 7 nil. So we are getting very, very closer. As I said before, the Caribbean used to be Trinidad, Haiti, and Cuba and Jamaica. Now you realize that Suriname is coming in. Curacao has fallen at their foot. Trinidad has dropped off. Haiti is still there. So at least we can see more competitive Caribbean now. So they're not all there yet, but at the same time, their development going on the same way. We see what Damrep is doing. Is they're getting it right at the youth football. They haven't got it right at the national level as well. As someone was telling me a couple of days back, Mariana Diaz asked the coach at whenever Dominican Republic they reach World Cup or something that he can say, yes, I'm coming to play for you guys to represent you in a competition. He will be available. So because as we know, they have a lot of players in Spain that plays La Liga, plays in the second division, second league. So the football is on the rise in Concacaf. And if you realize as well, I think I was watching Mexico and Guatemala last night. And let me tell you something. It shows that the teams are really growing up. The teams are growing. I think Mexico won. I left it at 185 minutes already in 2-0. Right? But Guatemala were basically not really hanging on to a threat. They were still trying to hold them out and stuff. So and the game was playing in Mexico. So we see what is really going on there. El Salvador is still the same. So I think this Gold Cup is going to be really a very interesting Gold Cup. I think US is still favorite. I said it already. If Canada win the Gold Cup, I won't be surprised. They have an established unit already, and they have brought in a lot more pieces there. So at the same time, they have a pretty young squad, and they have younger players coming as well. So I think it's going to be a very interesting Gold Cup. For Jamaica, we just, as I said, from administration standpoint, we just need to get everything in order. Get the players who want to be a part of the squad and let the coach do what he have to do with them. And that's my part on it.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Jason. All right. Ose, what do you have to say in closing?
Well, all I gotta say is that as was just discussed, that the Caribbean Concacaf is getting close when it comes to several of the nations, which were like we consider small nations before, because the dynamics has changed, as you know. Not only the football but the preparation for the game in terms of physicality. You got some guys spend hours in the weight room, and they prepare their body and everything else. Because when you're at a professional level, playing for Ajax or a big professional team, that's the typical routine. You not only go on the field and run around, you have to be fit. But what I've seen back in the days is that players weren't that fit. They weren't that physically fit, especially when in Suriname. Well, when I used to play, there was nothing as a gym where you can go in and work out and do all these, get your body in the right shape. Now that's happening. That's what you see when you look at a team like for instance Haiti, when they were in the last book. You see some very strong players. So all that gap is closing now. I mean, a lot of teams understand what it takes to play at the highest level, and as we said, Suriname is getting there. I mean, it will no longer be the top 5, the top 6. The United States, Mexico, and Trinidad. It will be, I think, Suriname and maybe Curacao. Those are the small nations which are coming up. And you got to understand, these countries or these nations, they have, population-wise, they have very small population compared to a country like Jamaica, of course. I think Suriname population is not even 700,000. You see, so that just show you that it's not a big nation. So the fact that now they're basically coming back up top when it comes to football, because they used to be up top. Look at the history of the Concacaf in Suriname and the Suriname clubs. I think that time again is coming back around. So looking forward to it. And now with the influx of some of the Dutch players, even better. It's a little bit more competitive now in the Caribbean, is what you want to see anyway. So they're going to be here next week. I think the 17th, they're going to be in Florida. Of course, I'm going to be in the stadium. But again, like you said, most likely we might play Jamaica again. So I'm looking forward to
that. Get the rock.
I don't know why Jose will be looking forward to that.
But Mannings, man, you hear him, right?
Okay. Yeah, listen, I'm telling you,
it's recorded.
Cataract is an ultra. He calls himself an ultra, you know, so
But
I will tell you.
What do you mean by call myself an ultra?
Sorry, he is
Do I
an
say that
ultra.
you call yourself a pastor?
He is an ultra. My apologies. He is an ultra.
So Marines, what I've gleaned from this conversation is that countries are not standing still and prepared to just let Jamaica walk into the 2026 World Cup. That there are countries who are putting together a plan on how they can take one of the 4.5 spots that are available to Concacaf. And so we have to get our thing right. I saw the list of names of players. They don't scare me. They don't fear me. However, I think we can't take countries that we used to beat regularly for granted because everybody is trying to put a plan in place to become more competitive. No.
Go ahead, Cataract. I'm just reading the comments. Go ahead.
Well, Kingston, come and stay there and see who are extra. No? Soldier Field. Again, man and man. We are pre the man them. We're there so every day. And now when Jamaica
What did you say? What did you say, Cataract? Man and man?
Man and man.
Man and man.
Man and man. I say it name.
Okay.
Man and man and the man them. When now come support the team. I think my time between now and when the game is to set up people want to reach a Soldier Field. Let there be a great representation for Jamaica at the game versus United States so we can start well. You understand? We look forward. I don't know when it is going to be because this week is ending tomorrow to see when the 30-man Russ squad is named for the 2 friendly matches against Austria. I'm hoping, Mannings, that we can get some more information about the level of take-up regarding the CAC games, which also begins in 2 weeks' time. But it's a good time to be a Jamaican fan. And let us be hopeful and hopeful. I won't be able to join you in the EPL review shows next year. But if you're reviewing the championship, you can.
The EPL. We're going to review. Cranky is going to be reviewing the season that just finished.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying next year.
I'm very sure. I am sure that you'd love for you to be on that show. To talk about Leeds.
What did he say? Next year he won't be joining EPL review.
Next year we won't be joining the EPL review show. But if you want a championship review, I'd be happy to lend assistance.
Okay. All right.
I wanted to ask Ganato, who's at Leeds? Is he of Surinamese origin?
Italian.
Oh, Italian. Okay.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean origin. If he has anything, I don't know why I thought that him and Somerville had this sort of the same heritage background. But big up everybody again. Entertaining show. A lot of different discussions, social commentary, political commentary, and send out some prayers to our brothers and sisters in Haiti. You know, they were hit by 2 natural disasters, flooding and then an earthquake yesterday. So, you know, we pray for life and our Asian brothers and sisters. Sapasi.
Yeah, man. All right. Listen, we want to thank you so much today. I mean, wonderful show. You would have learned something. Want to big up our friend Jose from Suriname out there in Port St. Lucie. The place where when they play dominoes, they tell you to block the game. And they said, their code is do not go over there and say, "Do." I keep saying, they said that is coding. They say if you want the man to block the game, just say block the game. Yeah. So big up all to all the people out in Port St. Lucie. You understand me? So thank you so much, Jose, for giving us the scoop on all things Suriname, also Marlon as well. Always good having you on. CC turned up. You understand me? And all the fans are saying they would not want Messi at their club at 35. I think they're all right. But
does their club better or make it worse? Which one?
I don't know what I don't know, but Cranky is going to pick up on that discussion. Also big up to Cataract. He just got a booking with Reggae Vibration in Philadelphia for Thanksgiving, or in Brooklyn. He may not return in his present form because if the sound dies, he could be coming back in.
You never take the sound and the bass beat me with the broadboard. The beat with the broadboard and pickaxe stick. The juggle is so good. Big up DJ Desmond.
Yeah, man. So big up to all the persons in the comment section as well. We should have had Carlton Simmons with us to talk about the camp, but we'll do that tomorrow. We'll talk to him and Coach Boris Johnson. Look out, because Stan Cranky will be doing the EPL review show. We just gave you a taste of what is to come. Also want you to know that the American center back, oh geez, I should tell you this, he just got, I think from MLS, a $1.2 million transfer. I think he is, you heard that transfer?
Wonder?
Wonder.
Wonder?
Yeah, Wonder, yeah. From Louisville City.
USL.
Louisville City, yeah. Just moved to Benfica for $1.2 million with add-ons and sell-on clause, the first $1 million transfer of the USL Championship. So this is a player from the USL. Yeah, this is the first $1 million transfer from USL Championship. So, and he's gone to Benfica. So maybe the USL Championship is not as bad as people make it, and there could be a pathway there for people. But he did well at the U20 World Cup as well. So that could also have factored into his transfer. So maybe the USL Championship is an option for young players where they can make the transfer to clubs in Europe. So blessings to everyone. Richard Royal, Seketa Rakim asking you. Go ahead.
Man, before you run, just one thing. Serginho Dest that plays for the US. Serginho Dest,
yes.
You know him? You know he could have played for Suriname too. Yes. His mother's from Suriname.
Oh.
You see? So the roots run deep, man. I'm telling you, it runs deep. He was born in the Netherlands to a Suriname American father. The father used to live here in America. That's how he's playing for the US. Yeah.
Oh.
So there's a lot of offspring there.
Marlon?
Yeah, man, yeah.
So Junior Dest,
he could have played for Suriname. I know he could have played for Netherlands. I didn't know that he could have played for Suriname.
He could have played for Suriname, Netherlands, and the United States.
Football for Netherlands, under 17, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. All right, so people, blessings again. And if you have not yet hit the like button, do so before you go. Remember to like as well, share, and subscribe. I am Management. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And as usual, when it gets to this point of the show, we say we are over and we are O-U-T out of here.
Boom, check it out. I don't know it's Jason. I'm here represent for I Am Sure Sports. For the latest news and updates, check out I Am Sure Sports. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe and share. Jace representing I Am Sure. I Am Sure Sports.